Well. I just listened to some of Jerry Jones. And I bet you right about now, anybody who's listened to this Jerry Jones interview is absolutely livid. We talked about that this morning. Is Jerry Jones totally wrong what he's saying about the Cowboys team? And I'm just thinking about something else I'm going to let you hear. And it's Dak Prescott in agreement with Jerry Jones. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Yep. Y'all know what time it is. Jerry Jones. You can love him, you can like him, you can hate him. But Jerry might be speaking some truth that some of us don't like. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come to this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live, and we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. Jerry Jones. You don't have to like what Jerry Jones is saying. I think you have to understand what Jerry Jones is saying, but I don't think you have to like it. But I think Jerry Jones may have said some things that it is some truth that some of us don't want to deal with, but we're going to talk about it. So, let me tell you what the lineup is this evening. So, what we'll be talking about in the congregation today is Brian Schottenheimer on repeat. Is Brian Schottenheimer on repeat? We're going to get a chance to listen to player reactions because I'm going to build this up. I want to build this up to the Jerry Jones interview because I think you're going to hear something after you hear the players, and then when you hear Jerry Jones, I think it's going to give us some clarity on what Jerry Jones said. But we're going to talk about the player reactions. We're going to deal with what Dak said because why I said Dak and Jerry. My question is, are Dak and Jerry in agreement on what Jerry said? Are Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones in agreement? We're going to see. Then we're going to listen to a chorus. We're going to build it up. We're going to listen to this shocking Jerry Jones interview. Absolutely shocking Jerry Jones interview. And then we're going to listen to the Stephen Jones interview from yesterday. And we're going to see how all of this lines up. And then last, but definitely not least, we're going to talk about Trayvon Diggs and this Trayvon Diggs nonsense. And every time this stuff with Trayvon Diggs comes up, it reminds me of people who say the front office is crazy for loving our guys, only for them to show you they love our guys. Don't understand it. But this Trayvon Diggs stuff's got to end. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. Shotties on repeat, player reactions, Dak and Jerry, Jerry interview, Stephen Jones, Diggs nonsense. Let's go. Let's get this. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get into this. Let's get this quick roll call. I'm excited. Yup. John Henry first up today. Let's go Cowboys. The true Texan. He said, well. Here is a Yoda one. Fear is the path of the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to. This is one of the reasons why you'll never hear me hating Jerry Jones. It just builds up more anger. I'm not going to do it. John Jones said, what up, G Money? I'm going to tell you what's in New Jack City. Daniel said, G. I'm going to say, Daniel, what up with you? Hey, we better get this win this week. Daniel, we better. Daniel, if we have any hope of going to the playoffs, we have got to win today. We got to win Monday night. Because I'm going to tell you now, y'all get ready. I think the Panthers are going to do us some favors. I think that Chicago Bears schedule may start getting to them eventually. And the Cowboys, if they play their cards right, they're going to have a great opportunity. But they got to be ready to seize the opportunity. What up, David J? Good to see you. What up, Ruffin? Ruffin said if they had an average defense, they would be fine. Definitely not average. Dallas' problem is basic fundamental football, not tackling, being in the right place, and the corners getting beat on every play. You gonna love what Jerry has to say then. Too Tall Jones in this thing. Too Tall Jones? Did I not say this? They're not gonna give me credit for it, Cowboys for life. You got the same avatar as Too Tall Jones almost. Cowboys for life. Did I not say this? 2026, and nobody believed me. Nobody believed me. 2026. Love it, like it, or hate it. What's normal anymore? What's going on? He said, I'm here. What up with you? Briar, what's going on with you? Good to see you. Bump TY5X866 from the 903. That's where I'm from. What's going on with you, Bump? Let's go. Ty Howard up in this thing. Let's get this intro going. Ronnie Dub in this thing. What up? My sister Lisa Worley. What's going on? I'm going to start calling her. If JCT Slice is the #1 Dak Prescott fan, Lisa Worley is the #1 Jalen Tolbert fan. What's going on, my sister Lisa Worley? More. What's going on with you? It's time to talk some Cowboys. Mark Vasquez in this thing. What up, Dolores Ennis? What up, Carl Williams? It is my man, Blue Star. Blue Star up in this thing. What up, Blue Star Dallas TV? He said Myles Garrett about to hit the trade market. Man, let me tell you something. Myles Garrett hit that trade market. I said today I'm from the Cowboys, I'm giving up 3 #1s. 26, 27, and 28. Let me tell you how crazy this would be, Blue Star. Blue Star. Would it not be crazy for the Cowboys to trade Micah Parsons and then circle around and be able to get Myles Garrett for less money than they would have had to play Micah Parsons? It would be crazy. I don't think it's happening, but it would be crazy. What's going on, Alicia? Good to see you. Let me tell you, Alicia, they're going to go crazy when we go on the bye week. NFL going to dip in ratings in ways they ain't never seen before. See Burleson up in this thing. Raymond Martin, what's going on? Day is going well. God is good. What's going on? Rena Zaguini up in this thing. What's going on? Linda Johnson. Let's go. Too Tall Jones. I got it right this time. What's going on, Too Tall Jones? Lynn, what up? What up with you, Lynn? All right, let's get this thing going, man. Kamikaze, what up with you? Brian Worley, what up with you? My man, Ron Hanna, can't go without saying, what's up, man? Yeah, boy, that Michael Irvin was going, wasn't he? Yes, sir, Ron Hanna, I'm telling you. Michael Irvin was echoing a lot of things I said on Sunday night. What's going on, Gary Thorcell? What's going on? Devin Mills up in this thing. What up with you, Devin Mills? Gene Marks. All right, we'll get the rest of y'all as we get going. Oh, I can't go without saying hello to Sister Brandy. Welcome to the congregation today, Brandy. What's going on? Robert Dudley, Katharina Kiss. Can't go without saying hello to Katharina Kiss either. What is going on? Mary Cole, what is up with you? Good to see y'all. All right, let's get this thing going. Mills 36 up in this thing. Chris Dunaway, what is up? Q-Town, dude, what is up with you? Y'all give yourself a hand. Best chat on YouTube. Best chat on YouTube. What is going on, Gwen Bowden? Kenneth Montgomery, King C. Ray, what is up with you? Good to see y'all today. All right, so let's get this thing started. So I went back and listened to the Brian Schottenheimer's, I went back and listened to Brian Schottenheimer's press conference. Four Pockets, Dolores Ennis, my man Dominique Pittman. What's going on, y'all? Good to see y'all up in here. Dominique, and you know we can disagree and still be the best of friends. What's going on with you, Dominique? You know I don't mind you disagreeing, especially because, hey, when it's respect, man, disagreements to me are not, they don't matter when they're respectful. When people start trying to insult people and put each other down, that's when it's a problem. No, Dominique, we on the same page. We on the same page. What's going on, Muse Loco? Salute. What's going on? All right. So I went back and listened to this Brian Schottenheimer because it came out yesterday, and I know some of y'all have probably already listened to it. So I didn't want to bore us going all the way back through it again. Oh, man. There is only one part of this interview I want us to listen to again. Brian Schottenheimer, I said it before.
Season because
I'm going to say it again. Brian Schottenheimer is one of the best interviewing coaches you will ever listen to. But didn't I tell y'all this earlier in the season? Brian Schottenheimer's got to be careful because Brian Schottenheimer always has the right answers. And I told y'all the problem with always having the right answers is that you always have to give the right answers. And the reason why you're giving the right answers is why? Something is wrong. And we all know something is wrong. And unless you've been living under a rock, you know what it is. The defense stinks like Limburg cheese. Some of y'all might not know about Limburg cheese. But the defense stinks like Limburg cheese. And so Brian Schottenheimer got to be careful because he always has to give the right answer because the defense is trash. He's having to give the right answer this week because they're Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They're not a good road team. We got a good enough sample size to know now they're not a good road team. And so now, backing all the way back to the Carolina Panther game, Brian Schottenheimer said it was going to be changes. Washington Commanders game, it was some changes, but the changes look better because the Washington Commanders, we saw them last night against the Kansas City Chiefs. They're now playing Marcus Mariota. I told y'all this weeks ago when the Cowboys got ready to play the Commanders, Jaden Daniels won't last 5 seasons. Jaden Daniels won't last 5 seasons at the way they're playing him. He can run the ball, but he's not a big quarterback. If he keeps on getting hit the way he's getting hit, I promise you, he won't make it 5 years. He'll be RG3 on repeat. A lot of people don't realize they see RG3 now and they think RG3 is a joke. Anybody who don't know, shoo, you better go check the tape. RG3 was an absolute monster. Came into Dallas, I think it was on a Thanksgiving. Shoo, RG3 was an absolute monster in that rookie season. Wound up getting hurt, got them knees hurt, and it was a wrap. But I'm telling us, Jaden Daniels won't last 5 years at the rate they're running him over there with Washington. And we saw what they looked like last night. And so they did some things against the Commanders, but we knew they were missing their first, second, and third receiver. But then we turned right back around and we got mollywopped against the Denver Broncos. And so we've been hearing Brian Schottenheimer, not only before the Commanders game, we've been hearing this even before then. Brian Schottenheimer talking about there's going to be changes. And let's listen to him. Let's see what he says this time.
We want to find a way to beat Arizona. And like I said, it's a one-game season because we want to find a way to beat Arizona and go into the bye sitting here at 4-4-1.
Garrett.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Hey, Brian, you mentioned kind of the up and down nature just of your season.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
How hard is it to, find a rhythm your first year as a coach, given kind of the win-loss kind of pattern that you just described?
Yeah, again, it's trust in the process, Garrett. No one wants a win streak more than anybody in this locker room.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Who used to always say, trust the process? I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to give you hint number 2. We called him Captain. I'm telling you, we gotta be careful. I'm riding with Brian Schottenheimer until the wheels fall off and the frame is skating down the highway shooting sparks. I'm not throwing Brian in the trash. I told y'all this from the beginning. Brian's going to need a whole year as the Cowboys quarterback. As the Cowboys coach. He needs a whole year as the Cowboys head coach. He ain't been the head coach long enough. Brian going to have to learn. I know he wants to be very transparent. But you also got to pay attention to what you're saying. So you don't be saying the same thing every week. Oh, I'm riding with Brian. But boy, that statement right there, let me let you hear that again. Boy, that statement right there, that isn't a statement of confidence. And that is definitely, y'all ready for this? Y'all gonna figure out something about this show I put together today. This is one of the best shows I believe I've put together. I'm gonna show you that we're building up to something. Because a lot of people didn't hear me when I was saying this. We're building up to 2026. We're building up to 2026. Trust the process? Hold on a second. Let's go back for a second.
To the bye, sitting here at 4-4-1.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Hey, Brian, you mentioned kind of the up and down nature just of your season. How hard is it to, find a rhythm your first year as a coach, given kind of the win-loss kind of pattern that you just described?
Yeah, again, it's trust in the process, Garrett.
Wait a minute. You can't make this up. Let me see. Hold on a second. Tatiana, welcome to the congregation. I don't recognize the name, so I'm telling you. Welcome to the congregation, Tatiana. Tatiana says Shotty says the same thing each week. It is JCT Slice back up in this thing. The number 1 Dak Prescott fan. I'm number 2. JCT Slice says Dallas has to play better, but you were right. Shotty has to coach better too and not give Dak Prescott garbage plays. He called a terrible game last week. He called a terrible game. Blue Star, you got me rolling. Blue Star, he said at this point we can only ask Santa Claus to bring us that gift we need in our defense. If it's not Crosby, I say Myles Garrett works as well in Dallas. Just anything better than the trash we have. Boy, DB Cooper, he said in the immortal words of Dak Prescott, we suck. Man, boy. But wait a minute. Isn't this strange? You can't make this up. Who used to always say, trust the process? None other than Jason Garrett. Wait a minute. Let me tell you the real humor in this. Let me tell you the real humor in this. That he actually said, Garrett, trust the process. Boy, you can't make this up. Boy, you can't make this up. He said, Garrett, trust the process. Man, I'm telling you, we gotta laugh sometimes. We gotta take it, man. I'm telling you, we gotta laugh sometimes to keep from crying. You gotta laugh sometimes to keep from crying. But you can't make this up. This dude said, Garrett, you gotta trust the process. But Brian, he gotta be careful. He's on repeat right now. And I'm riding with Brian because I feel sorry for Brian. And oh, please, forgive me. But I said I wasn't going to feel sorry for Brian because he knew what it was when he signed up. But I do feel sorry for him. I can't help it. I do feel sorry for him from this perspective. He's trying his best to coach the whole doggone team. He's trying his best. He's trying his best. I'll be honest with you. I think it might even be better for the Cowboys next year. It might be better for the Cowboys next year. What if Clayton Adams could learn to call plays? Shotty is such a good leader. He's such a great communicator. Maybe it would be better for Brian to oversee the entire team. That if we got a defense that's stinking like Lindbergh cheese, that Brian don't have to step away from the offense. He can just step right into the defensive room and help get them to where they need to be. Help get where they need to be. Brian is trying his best. This man is holding this thing together at the seams. I'm giving Brian Schottenheimer all the credit in the world. Brian Schottenheimer is the only thing holding this thing together. He's the only thing holding this thing together. If Brian Schottenheimer hadn't preached this culture, if he hadn't preached this culture, building up all the way to this, because I'm telling you why he was building this culture, because he knew it was going to get to this. I think he knew it might get to this or it was going to get to this. And Brian knew, oh, you know what? We may have some issues. Brian kind of knew they was going to trade Micah Parsons. He started seeing the writing on the wall. He knew this thing with Trayvon Diggs. He knew all of this stuff. I'm going to give Brian so much credit. He has been holding this thing together with that culture he built before all of this chaos. But you got to be careful. Because within building a culture, and especially with the expectations on the Cowboys right now, you got to find ways to win. Brian's got to find ways to win. And Brian has got to do everything he can. Brian, you can't let games like the Carolina Panthers get away. You can't let games like the Chicago Bears get away. You can't let games like the Denver Broncos. I mean, I believe the Cowboys should have beat the Broncos, and I think they made a huge mistake by not feeding George Pickens. Not feeding George Pickens. And we still got to get Dak Prescott out of that muscle memory. We got to get him out of that muscle memory of, I got to go to CeeDee Lamb. Man, I wish that I could help out because if I'm just putting myself in, if I was like a CeeDee Lamb, I would tell Dak Prescott, bro, you don't have to throw the ball to me. If Pickens is the better option, I want you to go to Pickens. I don't want you to target me because you want me to get the ball or you think I'm going to be mad. No, if George Pickens is open, I want you to get it to him, Dak. Don't worry about who gets how many passes. Don't worry about who gets how many yards, who gets how many touchdowns. See, this stuff is easier said than done. Dak Prescott said in the offseason, he said it's not going to be a problem. You know, he's talked to him. It may be one game, one's going to get more, and another game, another one's going to get more. Hey, I hear that. It's good in theory. But now you got to start practicing what you preach. Because when you can start practicing that, you're going to be even more dangerous. You're going to be even more dangerous. Brian is trying to hold all this together. And he's trying to hold all this together under the craziness that is Jerry Jones. Y'all know I'll tell you in a minute things I like about Jerry. But I'm going to also tell you in a minute the things I don't like about Jerry. Sometimes Jerry wants a little too much control. And I shouldn't say sometimes, let me be honest. Jerry just wants a little too much control, period. Jerry wants a little bit too much control. Jerry wants to make sure, because we saw this in the Cowboys, the gambler and his Cowboys. Jerry is always searching for that validation that he's a football guy. And that's why when you listen to him talk, I just laugh when I hear Jerry talk, because I'm like, man, Jerry want to be validated. Man, that story with Jimmy Johnson, boy, I don't think people understand how powerful that story was. The reason why Jerry said I'm firing, or I shouldn't say firing, the reason why I'm going to let go of Jimmy Johnson, who has literally came in here and turned this franchise around, I'm going to let him go because when I said we did it and I held up a glass, Jimmy didn't raise the glass. And his Dave One stat is sitting there. They're sitting there. They're looking at Jerry. They're looking at Jimmy. They're looking at Jimmy. Look at Jerry. Jerry looking at Jimmy. Jimmy was an egomaniac too. Jimmy wanted all the credit. Jimmy wanted all the credit. Not understanding that him and Jerry were actually the perfect storm. Jerry had the money. Jerry had the advertisement ideas, and Jimmy knew football. Jerry wanted to win. Jimmy knew how to win. It was the perfect storm. But Jerry let go of Jimmy because Jimmy wouldn't validate Jerry and say, yeah, we did it. Yeah, we did it. Jimmy admitted as much. Yeah, we did it. Jerry wants to win. Y'all stop fooling yourself. Jerry wants to win. Problem is with Jerry, he wants to do it like Frank Sinatra. He want to do it his way. And so now we got Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer knew what it was when he signed up. And I don't feel sorry for him from that standpoint. But you know where I do feel sorry for him? Because Jerry Jones hired Matt Eberflus, an older coach that Brian doesn't really get to. He doesn't, it's like, is he really overseeing him? Is he really overseeing him as, man, I'm the coach? We've had this problem for years. It didn't just start with Brian. Brian is trying to be that coach. But he's got to battle Jerry Jones too. And I don't think he's battling Jerry Jones in a bad way because Brian is too sharp and too smart for that. He's too good of a communicator. Brian knows how to navigate, at least for what I've seen so far. He is navigating this extremely well. But at the end of the day, Brian's got to be careful because you don't want to be on repeat saying the same stuff every single week. Got to be careful. That's all I'm saying. I'm riding with Brian. Shoot, I'm riding with him all the way because I believe that Brian is going to be able to get this done. He's going to have to get it done with Jerry and in spite of Jerry, both of them. Because Jerry has already helped him out exponentially, giving him George Pickens, got him Tyler Booker, got him Javonte Williams. That is downright a Brian Schottenheimer selection. But Brian's got to be careful Got to stop saying the same thing every week. And when I heard him say this, I said, oh, no. No, don't say it, Brian. Trust in the process. Trusting the process to me sounds like what I said from the beginning. The Cowboys are going to flash. They're going to show us they got championship potential. The offense is pretty much ready to go, even with some shortcomings at the left tackle and the right tackle. That still needs a little bit of tweaking. But the defense is a disaster. So Brian's got to be careful.
No one wants a win streak more than anybody in this locker room, in this team room, players and coaches. We want to have a winning streak. To win a game and lose a game and win a game and lose a game sucks. I mean, nobody wants that. But it's who we are right now. And so you can sit there and be frustrated by it, which, believe me, I didn't sleep a wink last night. I tossed and turned all night. I played the game over my mind 1,000 times, things I could have done different, things I could have done better. I know a lot of our players did that as well, certainly some of the coaches. But at the end of the day, you got to trust the process. And me complaining about it or me bitching and moaning about it's not going to fix it. What's going to fix it is getting in that.
Dominique Pittman. Make sure I'm knocking on the glass. Dominique Pittman. Ron Hanna. What have I been saying before this interview? Did I not say the same thing that Brian's saying, but in a different way? What did I say? You have to accept your reality. You have to accept your reality. It don't do you no good crying about what we need to do. Because if you haven't done it and you don't have a control over it, then you have to live in your reality. And what Brian has to control is the parts that Brian has got to control. Brian Schottenheimer's got to accept the assignment. I got to score 40 points a game. Accept the assignment. Accept the assignment, and Brian knows it. I'm telling y'all, people sometimes, I don't want to be critical. I just want to tell you the truth. Truth is hard to accept sometimes. Truth is hard to accept. Truth becomes hard to accept at times because truth makes you change the way you think. It makes you change the way you think, and it makes you change the way you do things. Because you already know that what comes along with truth is going to be trials and tribulations. You already know what it is. That's why a lot of people don't like truth. But I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't mean to preach to you today, but I'm just going to tell you something. But this is where the growth is. This is where the growth is. The growth is not at the top of the mountain. The growth is in the valley. And Brian is accepting the assignment. And that's what I've been telling all of us. Y'all can listen to who you want to. I done told you. I'm not going to be that one. I'm not going to be that person telling you, don't listen to him and her and don't listen to them. I'm not telling you that. You listen who you want to. What I am going to tell you is don't let people enslave you in their own thoughts and turmoil and their hatred and whatever else that they have for this front office and the Cowboys. Stop making people or allowing people to make you hate the franchise. It is what it is. You have to accept your assignment. It's yours. Brian Schottenheimer has to accept the assignment, and I told y'all this for the last 2 days. People are mad about it. You can get mad, get glad with a heavyweight trash bag. That's what my mama used to say. They got to accept the assignment. Brian Schottenheimer, can I talk to you? If I could tell you, I could take it to your face, because I think you already know what I'm telling you, because I think you've already I think you've already accepted what your fate is. It's either the offense or nothing. Bottom line. Oh, Gene Martz, I would love for Dak to call his own plays. We've already seen Dak Prescott call plays, and it would be incredible. I'd love to see Dak Prescott call plays. I'm telling us, Brian Schottenheimer's accepted the assignment. People can call me crazy they want to. Brian Schottenheimer's in reality. It don't do you no good to complain that the defense sucks. Okay, it sucks. I don't get to go out in free agency and pick up who I want to. I don't get to go tell Jerry, I want this player. Go get him. And give up 3, 4 first-round draft picks. I don't get to do that. But what I do get to do, I get to call plays. And I'm telling you, Brian is in the predicament because I'm a little bit different because I would sit my offense down. I'd sit my offense down and I'd tell them straight to their face. I would tell my offense straight to their face. We carry this team from this point forward. I'm going to work with Matt Eberflus as much as I can. But my hands are tied in certain situations. But I'll tell you this, as much as it be on us, we're winning this. We're going to win these games. And I don't care if we got to score 50 points a game. We're going to do it. But let me tell you this. They got the weapons to do it. They got the weapons to do it. The Cowboys can score 40 points per game. I could see if this was last year, it's unrealistic. It's realistic. I don't know why we're saying it's unrealistic because they've already done it 3 times this year. They scored 40, 40, 44, 37. They scored almost 40 points per game 4 times this year. They can do it. They're putting up 40 on the Arizona Cardinals. Book it. Book it. They're putting up 40 on the Arizona Cardinals. I think I said Arizona. They're putting up 40 points on the Arizona Cardinals. They're putting up 40 on the Arizona Cardinals. Book it. They can do it. Irvin is right. They got to figure out how to do it on the road. Because once they figure out how to do it on the road, it's on and popping. And then what you can hope? You hope that the defense, because I do think the Cowboys are going to do something at the trade deadline. And kind of listening to some of the tea leaves out there, man, let me tell you something. Don't let nobody fool y'all. The Cowboys actually have been picking up the phone. They picked up the phone on Trey Hendrickson. They picked up the phone on Max Crosby. Rumor has it they even picked up the phone on I think it's a defensive end for the New York Giants. And the New York Giants are telling the Cowboys no. Everybody's telling the Cowboys no. Even this kid over here from New York, Quentin Williams or something like that. Y'all do know the Cowboys tried to trade with the Jets before they tried to trade with the Green Bay Packers, right? And they wouldn't give him up. But now they want to trade him, and they want way too much for him. But you know what I find to be so ironic? And the local Cowboys media won't admit it? Y'all do know that Jerry and Steven have been lying to the local media. They've been lying to the local media. Jeremy Fowler has verified it. Trey Wingo pushed back on Clarence Hill. Jay Glazer has verified it. The Cowboys are on the phone trying to figure out what it's going to cost to get certain players. This is why I'm telling you now. I think Jerry's lying right now. I think Jerry is trying to temper our expectations. But they have been swinging for the fences. The problem is they've been missing. They've been missing. That's the real story. Somebody told me, oh, Mike Fisher. No, Mike Fisher's wrong sometimes. And Mike Fisher is wrong on this because it seems on purpose the Dallas Cowboys front office has been lying to our local media. Meanwhile, the people who have, and this is the thing I had to point out to someone in the comments, Mike Fisher's reach doesn't reach beyond Dallas. Not like you would think it does. And let me tell you, his reach definitely, as it applies to outside of Dallas, it's nowhere near like Jay Glazer. And these local beat writers, they don't have the reach. They don't have the reach like Jay Glazer. Cowboys have been swinging for the fences. They've been missing. That's what the issue is. They've been missing. And so what Jerry Jones has been doing since they've been missing, oh, no, we ain't calling no. Yeah, no, we ain't picking up no phone. Yeah, no, we ain't doing none of that. Anybody ever thought that maybe Jerry could actually be embarrassed that they can't get somebody? But I'm telling you, the Cowboys have been swinging for the fences. They're missing. They're missing. And Trey Hendrickson is not even the conversation no more. Trey Hendrickson's got a hurt hip, and nobody even knows what's going on with him yet. I think the Cowboys are going to try to swing for Max Crosby again behind closed doors. I think the Cowboys are swinging for Max Crosby one more time next week. But it sounds like to me the Raiders are pretty much set on it's a solid no. So the Cowboys will bring somebody in, but it's probably not going to be anybody. You got to understand, we'll get more to this when we get to Jerry. But I'm saying all that to say, Brian Schottenheimer's got his hands tied to a degree. So the only thing Brian can do is Brian's got to control what he can control. And I think he's managing the team well. I think he had a brain fart against the Denver Broncos. I think he's a little too conservative on the road. Brian's got to just let them all hang out now. And say we losing on the road anyway, so I'm letting loose on the road. I'm letting loose on the road like I let loose at home, and we're going to let it all hang out. That's what Brian's got to get in his mind now. We got to let it all hold out. We do.
That film room, getting the staff together, talking about, okay, well, this is not good enough. We got to do this better. We got to, we got to be solution oriented. I can't say that to the players and then not start that with the coaches and myself. And so I will always look at myself first. You will never hear me get up here and not take responsibility or accountability for myself, because as the leader of this football team, that's my job.
Brianna Aldridge, CBS News, Texas. A lot of the guys we heard from the locker room kind of taking accountability, saying they felt like they were prepared and saw a lot of what they saw yesterday at practice. And like you mentioned, it's not transferring to game day. How much of that is about inexperience and the guys that going into some new spots? And at what point as a coach do you have to say, okay, it's not working?
I do think that it's fair to say that there's been a lot of moving parts at a lot of positions,
Defense.
Certainly the secondary has probably been the hardest hit with revolving door, things like that. We're, trying to move pieces around, and next thing you know, Elijah, he's out, so then Reddy's got to go back and play. That's part of it. But again, at the same time, I'm not someone that's going to make a lot of excuses. There was nothing that we were calling yesterday as a defense that our guys hadn't heard before. And it's really just us having to execute better at a higher level. How do you do that? Well, you do that by communicating better. You do that by sharing information. On one of the touchdowns.
Tatiana, let me assure you of something. There is no way they're letting go of George Pickens. They're not letting go of George Pickens. I'm telling y'all, if there is one move that will absolutely shock me, is them letting George Pickens go. They're not going to do it. They're not letting go of George Pickens. The only way they're letting go of George Pickens is that somebody offers George Pickens $45 million. The Cowboys are not letting go of George Pickens. The Cowboys are probably going to have the Deion Sanders conversation with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, they're going to have the Deion Sanders conversation. And I think they're going to have the conversation with them of, hey, we're going to pay George Pickens. And we're going to pay him 37, 38, 39, even $40 million. We're paying George Pickens. All roads have always led to George Pickens. It doesn't make sense to let Michael Parsons be traded or trade Michael Parsons and not sign George Pickens. All roads are pointing to George Pickens. Jerry Jones picked George Pickens. Jerry Jones loves George Pickens. They're not letting go of Jerry. I'm telling you, don't even put that thought in your head. Don't even put that thought in your head. They're signing George Pickens. Don't let nobody tell you anything different until the Cowboys don't do it. I'm telling you, I am not even moving off this point. They're signing George Pickens. They're going to break the bank. I'm just telling you. They're going to break the bank on George Pickens. They can't let George Pickens get in the hands of another team. They're signing George Pickens.
That they had, we were trying, they changed strength motion and we were trying to get a call out. We didn't get it echoed. So half the guys were kind of thinking it was one thing. The other half was doing that. Well, that shouldn't happen. I mean, we make those calls all the time. And so that's where I go back to the execution. Needs to be better. And there's things that we can do to do that and to make those guys better. But I will never use the excuse, but there's been a lot of moving parts, certainly in the secondary for sure.
Now, I want you to catch a theme. I want y'all to catch a theme. Because I do believe that this team is all on the same page. They're all on the same page. Brian Schottenheimer is doing a great job. They're all on the same page. And I'm about to prove it to you. You hear that question that was asked? A lot of the players are taking accountability. And I think what they can appreciate about Brian Schottenheimer is that he takes accountability. So he's holding this thing together. In spite of whatever Jerry Jones is doing, he's holding this thing together. So now let's listen to the player reactions. Let's listen to the player reactions and just watch and listen how Brian is talking about accountability. Everybody got to start with themselves. Everybody's got to play better. Because did he not say execution? Watch and listen to the player. Now listen to the player reactions. Sometimes people don't listen enough because they're too busy talking. I talk a lot, but I listen a lot too. Listen to what these players are saying. Listen to what Dak Prescott is saying. And then when you hear Jerry Jones talk, it'll make more sense to you. Watch this. Let's flip over to the players. Let's listen to what the players say.
Shotty just said that it's one loss, and this is a tough league where sometimes there can be performances like this. How do you all put this behind you and get ready to go again next week? Because I know you're probably pretty frustrated about that.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's all about preparation, man. We got to come out here and execute. Consecutively and putting streaks together.
Hold on, I'm over here fiddling around. I muted it for a second. Let me go back.
See, Shotty just said that it's one loss, and this where sometimes there can be performances like this. How do you all put this behind you and get ready to go again next week? Because I know you're probably pretty frustrated about that.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's all about preparation, man. We got to come out here and execute, do the things that we've always planned to do throughout the early on in the week. And as for us, understanding that it is 17 games, I kind of lose track of what week it is, but I do feel like it's about time for us to start winning consecutively and putting streaks together.
So the offense.
Let me tell y'all something that people don't think about. Let me tell you something that people don't think about. That's the Cowboys are at a disadvantage. Let me tell you something crazy. I want you to imagine this. You're the Dallas Cowboys offense. And you're going up against the Cowboys defense. Put that in your mind. You out there against the Cowboys defense, and you lighten it up. To go against the Cowboys defense in practice, I mean, I'm just being honest. How does that help you? They can't even play zone. How does it help you going against the Cowboys defense? I could clearly see why the things that they're doing in practice are not translating in on the field. You're going against a Pee Wee League defense. You're going against a Pee Wee League defense, and then you come out on the field and you're going up against professional defenses. Man, I'm telling you, the practice experience for the Cowboys offense, where's the challenge? I just don't understand what the challenge could be. Man, I'm telling you, that's tough. That is tough. You in practice lighting it up. You're trying to prepare for the Denver Broncos. What challenge is your defense giving you? Now, I think Brian's got, and I'm not saying Brian's not a film studier, but he definitely should have taken advantage of the fact that you got that dude Moss out there. He ain't Randy Moss. They should have had CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens destroying him. They should have made the Denver Broncos change the way they play that game. They should have went at those cornerbacks, and they didn't do it. Even after Surtain went out, they didn't do it. But, boy, this is tough. This is tough for this team. This defense can't – man, what can this defense do to you? This defense couldn't challenge a middle school team barely right now. So, of course, the stuff they're practicing, Brian just got to turn it up. That's all he's going to have to – man, you just going to have to turn it up, bro. You got to help this defense. They can't help you. That's tough. I'm telling you.
And it's had some inconsistencies on the road. I guess when you have that kind of discrepancy, how frustrating is it, and how do you kind of remedy that?
I'm not really thinking about home or away. It's about our performance and how we can dominate. It don't matter where we play. Just continue to be us offensively and continue to, dominate the opponent. And I feel like we didn't do that this week.
CeeDee Lamb knows the assignment. The defense is trash. We need to put up 40-plus points. It is what it is. I don't know what else to tell us. We might not like it, but that's our reality. And if they don't dominate, they're not winning. I know that don't sound good to nobody, but that's who we are.
You said it's all about preparation. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but was that missing in some ways leading into this game?
Not at all. That's not what I was saying. I was just saying I feel like the way that we prep in a week, that should carry over throughout the game. Us as a unit, as a team, offensively, defensively, and special teams. I feel like we played below our standard, and it showed on the scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
Surtain was out in the second half. Did they have to change things up? From their standpoint, was it just next man up and they kept doing the same?
For who?
Surtain went out and didn't play the second half.
Yeah.
They changed things.
Not necessarily. No, we didn't change much. we just got to be aggressive in those situations. I feel like, I mean, Sertain's a great player, and I'm sorry that he went out. My condolences to him. I did see it was his ankle, so probably a high ankle sprain, which I've experienced, and it's not the best. So prayers for his recovery. He's a good dude, good player, but I feel like we should definitely take advantage of those opportunities.
I said it. You know what? I'm just thinking about what it must be like, though, to be Brian Schottenheimer right now. So as much as Brian Schottenheimer wanted to maybe work with his offense, y'all remember what they said he did last week? He was in the defensive room working with the defense. And this is why I say they have to be careful. In everything they're doing, how they're doing it, they better be very careful. Because if Brian Schottenheimer's got to spend a lot of time outside of the offensive room, now Clayton Adams, if I'm not mistaken, is the offensive coordinator. He kind of implements the plays in a sense. But come on, man. Brian Schottenheimer's the voice of this team. He's the voice of this team. And if he's got to step out and work with the defense, however they're doing it, that's less time for him to do what he's doing with the offense, whatever he does. Boy, this has got to be tough. This has absolutely got to be tough. And so CD is right. You know, what they're doing has got to translate. The preparation they are doing, it has to translate. But I'm telling you, man, that game plan looks stale to me. It didn't look like to me Brian came to play. It just didn't look like they came to play. Star Guardian X, he said, gee, I feel like it's just going to take time for this to gel. Star Guardian X, I said they needed a year. Star Guardian, I was saying some of this stuff early in the season. I said this after the first preseason game or after the first actual game, that the Cowboys, now they're going to get to look at film and see how they make adjustments to play another team. Look, now they can look at the team they got to play and how do they as a unit, how do they all break down film? What's the corrections they make? You know, how are they working together? These guys all. Now, they gave Matt Eberflus has some continuity. Brian has a lot of continuity on the offense. But as it applies to all of them together as a coaching staff, that's where they don't yet have the continuity. And that's another reason why I'm just telling you, I'm going to be shocked if Jerry blows up that defense. I'm going to be shocked if he fires Matt Eberflus. I mean, the next performance would have to be so bad. Whew! Man, that next performance would have to be so bad. Poopy D, I'll check my email. I didn't see it. That next performance, I mean, it would have to be so bad. Newhouse fam, what up? That next performance would have to be so bad. I mean, but I think they're going to beat the Arizona Cardinals. So it's not going to be a fireable offense for the Dallas Cowboys. And again, I think they're giving him some of the benefit of the doubt. The thing they're doing with Trayvon Diggs, injuries in the secondary. I think they're giving Matt Eberflus a lot of benefit of the doubt, whether we accept it or not.
Halfway point of the season is kind of coming up here. You kind of talked about, hey, it's about time to win. Is that something that even needs to be like talked about as a team, or is it everyone kind of feels that and hearing time clock going?
I feel like we all grown. We all understand what's going on, but we definitely will pass it throughout the locker room. I'd rather over-communicate than under. And being one of the leaders, I should be the one, just having us have that sense of urgency and understand throughout the team. So as for us, man, we got to go back to the drawing board, and we got a game on Monday night. Thank you, guys.
I'm telling y'all, man, Brian Schottenheimer deserves a lot of credit. This team believes in Brian Schottenheimer. He's holding it together because you know they're frustrated. One thing about athletes, especially successful athletes, in particular football players, they like winning. Yeah, they like winning. They like winning. Bottom line, they like winning. and they don't like losing. They understand the assignment. All of them do.
Broncos defense today.
I just feel like execution is the most important thing. I feel like
Are y'all listening to the theme yet? People are saying that Jerry Jones is crazy. Jerry Jones isn't crazy. Have y'all not noticed? They're all saying what Jerry Jones said. They're all saying it. People just, they take the snippet and they make it the headline. But they're all saying what Jerry said. Before Jerry said it, this is after the game. They're all talking execution, execution, execution. We didn't execute.
really execute to the top level, and that's kind of what bit us.
How frustrating is it? Because you guys know you can execute to that level, but you've had to make consistency. Can you put your finger on where they are and how you remedy them?
Just how the game went, honestly. I feel like they executed better, and then we did it. It's really just that simple, honestly.
When you guys are not executing like you would like to, and they are, how much does that is kind of a snowball effect downhill in terms of momentum, and how hard is it to kind of get that momentum back?
We always cheering people up on the sideline as well, so we always try to bounce back. But it's like when stuff not going your way, then you just got to, kind of eat it and try to get better.
CD kind of talked about how it's week 8, the midpoint of the season's coming up. It's about time to start winning consistently. Is that something that you guys all kind of feel inherently, the time clock, about, hey, the season's kind of getting to a later point, we have to pick it up here a little bit?
I mean, the season's going to be the season. We always want to keep winning consecutive games, the first game, the second game, the third game. We ultimately want to go undefeated. That's everybody's goal in here. So I feel like definitely execution plays a part into going undefeated, into going winning games. So execution, most definitely.
What gives you hope that this team can bounce back even after a game like this?
Once we proved it before. And then secondly, like I said, execution, more detail, and then coming back to work instead of coming back to work with we lost to you move on to the next thing and try to get better.
City was talking about how thought maybe they should have been more aggressive when Sertan went down there in the second half. Good. There were maybe some missed opportunities there, whether it be go deep or just kind of attack whoever it was that came this way. Yeah, definitely. And then counterparts too. So we can only work off the defense, and the defense can only work off us. So I feel like I said, execution on both sides would have helped us prevail through this game. I feel like execution on one side, even when it wouldn't have did it as well. So I just feel like as a team, execution is definitely what we need to be locked on.
George, I know the coaches always say you want the even.
Y'all notice what they all keep saying? Execution. Execution. Brian said it. Execution. CD George. Just keep watching.
Feel kind of keep things the same. When you guys are having win, loss, how tough is it to be even keel and kind of not have the whiplash of the win-loss each week?
Knowing that the sun gonna rise the next day. And it's going to be another day after that, and then another day after that. Then you got another game. So you definitely can't sit and pout on it, or else you're going to lose. You see what I mean? So we definitely have another opportunity, and when we get that chance, we definitely got to execute.
Y'all go call me a prophet. What did I tell y'all, man? It does no good to do all this crying. I mean, it's the bottom line. It don't do no good to do all the crying. Your defense sucks. You got to score 40 points a game to win the game. If you don't do it, you're not winning. Bottom line. Chanel said, okay, you talking about Max Crosby, the Raiders want a first and a second and a player. Chanel, I'm going to tell you this. Chanel, you tell me what you think. I got a strange feeling. If it's possible, Jerry's going to do it. They want Max Crosby. Max Crosby is the one they want. Big Mouse Dog, what up? Max Crosby is the one they want. I don't know if they're going to get him, but I think he is the one that they want because he's the one that fits all the criteria that Jerry is looking for. And what I mean by the criteria, he not only fits the criteria on the field, he fits the criteria from the contract situation. The Cowboys bring in Max Crosby, unless he holds out. The Cowboys bring in Max Crosby They got him for 3 years guaranteed. The rest of this season and the next 2, it fits the window. 26, 27, 28. It fits the window. He's the one that they want. I don't think they're gonna do Hendrickson. Yeah, Max Crosby better, but Max Crosby is a better interior guy. Max Crosby is better than Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson puts you back in a similar situation. The thing about Micah Parsons, he is an elite edge rusher, but he's not a defensive end. Michael's problem is when teams ran at him. When teams ran at Micah Parsons, it was a problem. When they would send that tight end or line that tight end up on that side, or they would chip him with that running back running out of the backfield. Because y'all got to think about this. I don't understand why people have not watched the tape on what the Cowboys did to Micah Parsons when he came to Dallas. Because the Cowboys did a number on him. From Dak Prescott getting the ball out quick, tight end lined up on the same side as the right tackle, running back in the backfield, Hunter Licky fullback. I mean, they did everything to Micah Parsons. They literally had a lapse on the last drive that could have won the game and let him go one-on-one on the tight end. That was stupid dumb. But other than that, Micah is an elite pass rusher. But Max Crosby, man, he is all around disruptor. He's a true defensive end. He's the one the Cowboys want. I'm telling you, and we're gonna see. I'm not gonna rule it out until 5:00 on November the 5th or whatever it is. Chanel said, G, Shotty plays on the road like he does not want to lose the game. Exactly. I have no clue why he plays so conservative. He plays way too conservative on the road. Not actually trying to win the game by putting pressure on the other team. He plays way, way, way too conservative. Way too conservative. Bohan Jankovic, I'm not sure. I'm just telling us, man, the Cowboys, they need a lot. They do. True Texan, appreciate that super chat. Yeah, he said it is glue, and when it's gone, the team is gone. True Texan, he holding them together. And they're believing in him. You can tell by what he's saying. You can tell by what the players are saying. The players, they're looking inward. Execution.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Not to make it feel bittersweet when you get in the end zone twice. It's your former home, and I know you wanted to play well here, but in the way that the team played overall, how do you take it all in and everything that happened today?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we could have played better overall. I wish we would have won, but I mean, it turned out the way it did. We gotta execute better and get ready for next week.
Did y'all hear it again? Everybody's calling Jerry Jones crazy. They're all saying it. We have to execute. And you know, there may be another part of this too. Chanel made a very good point. Chanel talked about the high altitude in Denver and how they could have got these machines to kind of work out with and kind of get themselves used to that high altitude in Denver. Could have played a part in it. Maybe they're not admitting it, but it might have played a part in it. Shoo. Hey, Chris Dunaway, nowhere. Perfect word. He ain't going nowhere. They're not letting Pickens go. No, they're not letting Pickens go. Bad said, I agree that you were mentioning these two players for weeks, but I never once told you in no response to them that that's the fourth time you made up some instance that I said something to you. Oh, wait a minute, you ain't talking to me. Okay, you ain't talking to me. Yeah, don't you worry, Tatiana. They're not letting George Pickens go. All right, let's check some more out. Just keep listening to these players. we're building up to this. You'll notice how they're all talking about execution on their own part.
I feel like when you came on the field here in Denver, a place that you have so many memories.
Yeah, I mean, it felt familiar because I've been here I was there for 4 years, but I mean, it was just another game for me.
Whose jersey did you end up getting?
This is one of the parts that Brian has brought here that does bother me, though. I just don't think you should call games just another game. I understand that they're just another game, but there are also pivotal games. And I do think there are certain games, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong in saying this. I just think there are certain games you do have to talk up. I just think there are certain games that you say, no, we got to get this win today. It's do or die. For example, the Arizona game. Nah, bro, let me tell you something. They don't get this Arizona game. They're 3-5-1. They will be shoveling from the bottom of the barrel. And the more games they lose, the more pressure they put on themselves to have to win more games in a row. They got to get this Arizona game so that they can get this game against the Raiders and then get that game against the Philadelphia Eagles, which I think they're going to get because all bets are off when it's the Philadelphia Eagles and they get in Dallas. The Cowboys are going to run roughshod over them, I believe. But the Cowboys, man, they got to get this Arizona game. It's a home game, so I think they're going to get it. The game that now that I looked at that schedule, though, the game that has my spidey senses tingling is the road game against the Raiders. Because it's one of those games. It's one of those games that hey, if you win this one, if you win this Raiders game, this is going to put you in this situation. They got to get this. They're going to get the Arizona game, I believe. But they got to get the Raiders game. One game at a time. They'll get the Arizona game, but you got to get a win streak going. And I'm saying that to say, man, some of these games you got to put some emphasis on. Man, you got to tell somebody sometime, hey, it's either do or die. We lose today, the playoffs become almost impossible. Shoot, let's go out here and get this. Bottom line, go get it. I don't like all this talk about it was just another game. Maybe that's why the game went like it did. Maybe somebody should have told them, hey, man, this is going to be a measuring stick for us today. It's going to be a measuring stick. This is going to separate the men from the boys. This is going to separate who want it and who don't want it. Who wants it? Man, I'm sorry. I can't deal with this. All these games are the same. Man, I can't deal with that kind of talk. Shoot, that Carolina game. Shoot, Rico Dowdle wouldn't. I bet you wouldn't have ran 100 yards on my team. How much you bet Sean Payton somewhere told the Denver Broncos? Shoot, Javonte Williams better not get 75 yards today. Shoot, I'm telling you, I bet somebody said it. Ron Hanna said, hey, G and Chet, I said this yesterday. Who was a true leader on defense? Demarion Overshown. He ain't there yet. Exactly. He ain't there yet. He ain't there yet. He'll be there. He ain't there yet. He ain't there yet, but he gonna be there. All right, let's finish up. But notice this theme of execution.
Malcolm Roach.
How can you explain kind of the up and down nature of this team?
Who is this person that keeps asking this same question about the up and down nature of the team?
From one week to the next.
Yeah, we just gotta be more consistent. We got everything that we need. We just gotta put it all together, and I mean, you can't just do it one game and not do it the next game. We gotta be more consistent if we want to go.
Hold on. Did y'all hear what Javonte Williams said? We got everything we need. Somebody been talking. Somebody's been, this has been some of the talk. It's obvious they've been doing because they're all echoing it. And this echo is coming from Brian Schottenheimer. This is Brian Schottenheimer talk.
We want to go.
What's running there inside and just what that does to kind of open up play action and stuff like that. It seemed like it was tough sledding in the middle.
Yeah, they got a great defense. I feel like we could have executed a little bit better. Probably more communication. Just small things. We was lacking on the details today. We just got to get better.
Yeah, I agree with you, Michael. End, linebacker, cornerback, free safety.
Blitzing and all that. Was it what you expected? Were they maybe a little better at that even than what you all expected? What was that like out there?
Amen, Dolores.
Yeah,
Appreciate
pretty much
it.
what we expected. Those two guys on the edge are great players. Even the backups, the entire D-line.
You're a great help in here.
Defense, they play well together. The secondary holds up to allow them time to get to the quarterback. So, I mean, we could have protected better, but overall, we just got to get back to the drawing board and execute next week.
Sponza, you guys have been so good at home. On the road, you guys have had a little bit more inconsistencies. How do you kind of go about fixing that? And how much does playing on the road with this kind of environment maybe play into that?
Yeah, we just got to execute better. I don't know if it's communication or what it is.
Tatiana, you want to hear from the defensive players? I don't know if they got any on here. I hadn't listened to this yet.
Yep.
There you go, Kenny Clark, Tatiana.
It snowballed a little bit with the way that it started early. I think it was probably a little bit of a frustrating day out there.
Yeah, just self-inflicting wounds, especially in the first half, and the game got away from us.
The fact that you all played so well last week, I mean, I know you wanted to build on that. Is the inconsistency frustrating too? Because you guys have shown.
Who are? Man, I done heard this question so much now. I'm tired of it. Has the inconsistency, the up and down? I mean,
you can be a good defense in any game like last week.
Yeah, just a lot of inconsistencies, and just something that we got to continue to stay together and correct. At the end of the day, so we got to just start with tomorrow, getting the corrections, and then coming back Wednesday and just hitting the ground running with it.
You're a veteran in this league, and there might be some younger players who might be discouraged. What's your message to them?
To the young guys?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long season, and nothing is away from us. It's one game, and you got to look at the film today, look at the film tomorrow, and take the good things that you got from the game, and just come back and correct it, and just have that positive mindset, going forward. Like he said, we had spurts where we playing good defense. We got to find that consistency and just all start with practice and just executing when we get on the field.
Did they do anything up front that y'all didn't expect?
Nah. Everything that we seen, I mean, it was on film. It was none that we didn't practice or we didn't prepare for.
Thanks, bro.
execution. Y'all heard it. Execution, execution, execution. I'm just building this up, listening to everything, listening to Jerry Jones today, and I didn't get a chance to listen to all of it, but listening to Jerry Jones today. These players are echoing this, and this isn't coming from Jerry Jones. This is coming from Brian Schottenheimer. This is Brian Schottenheimer holding this team together. Don't believe me? This right here won't take but a second. When I heard Jerry Jones today, I couldn't help but go back to Dak Prescott. Because Dak Prescott, whether people realize it or not, when they brought up a trade, Dak Prescott says what Jerry Jones said almost before Jerry Jones says it. Listen to Dak Prescott when they start asking him about a trade. Listen to this.
Takes opportunities and plays away from somebody else. And so we've got to be better. Our rosters is our rosters okay? What can we do more?
Now listen.
2018, you guys are 3-4. You lose to Washington, you make a trade for Mari, and you jumpstart that season. Can a trade do something like that?
Now, I think Dak Prescott is laughing because he knows doggone well, boy, it's going to have to be a heck of a player to come in and do what they did with Amari Cooper. Boy, you're going to have to bring in somebody. And I think this is why they're swinging for the fences on Max Crosby. But listen, first he gets the chuckle. Now listen to this.
I'd hope. Yeah, but then again, I trust and I like the guys that we have. I
He going somewhere.
honestly do, and that's not just a political answer or whatever it is. Like, you see some of these games we've won, and honestly, even the tie and some of the games we've lost, like, our roster is okay.
Does this not sound like Jerry Jones? Y'all doing not a lot of people are not acknowledging, but this sounds like Jerry Jones.
Can it be better? That's for you guys to write about and to judge. I trust those guys. We've got to be better in everything that we do. Getting a trade, right, takes opportunities and plays away from somebody else. And so I just echo to those people or to the guys in the locker room, right, like, forget a trade. Do more, right? Like shut that talk up, whether it be offense, whether it be defense, whatever position group that you guys are alluding to, step up and shut the talk up. Thank you, guys.
So we've heard shoddy execution, player reactions, execution. Dak Prescott takes it a step further. Dak Prescott says, I like our guys. Dak Prescott is saying, the players in the building, step up so they don't have to go and get a trade. They are alluding to that what is going on in the Cowboys organization, they are saying it's the players. So if it's the players, what does that mean for Matt Eberflus? What does that mean for Matt Eberflus? What does that mean? Because if execution is the problem, and this is what I've been asking, if execution is the problem, how do you fault Matt Eberflus? This is a conundrum. It's tough. It's tough. Let's check out Jerry Jones. This Jerry Jones interview. I think Jerry Jones is trying to temper the fan base's expectation, just in case Jerry can't get who he wants. Because I still say who they want is Max Crosby.
Answer here is
it's just not happening. But we'll see, as you know, as Jerry always say, deadlines get deals done. So we'll see what happens all the way up until the trade deadline. I'm not going to get myself built up anything like that. But I do think the Cowboys, I think they're trying to pull something off.
Hey, good morning, sir. How are you?
Hey, man, good morning. Good to be on with you.
Jerry, couple of days to reflect. Can you just give us your overall thoughts on the Bronco game?
Well, we need to improve.
I see you, Jaden Justin.
We need to stop those as much better than we did against Denver. Let's put it like this: our explosive plays, and that can be done by concentrating each position, down linemen, linebackers, continuing to see the action that the play action that's going on, and keeping your eyes in good places. I know this sounds technical, but it is technical. That's the way for us to improve, is to technically get better. We've got players that can do it, and it's not just one, but we need.
That don't sound like Dak Prescott? They're talking about the players in the building. They're talking about the players in the building. They're talking about a lack of execution.
Need to improve in that area. We basically need to finish our box better over on offense. We let a lot of penetration come in from what we call the backside on an offensive play. All of those things, and I know it sounds like you're in a coaches meeting, but all of those things are the answers. It's not as bad as it looks, and it looks bad as far as the game Sunday, but it also has a lot of room for improvement for us to be where we want to be on defense. Offensively, we really had a bad day. We made a lot of mistakes. It didn't stay with our blocks. So, again, technically the way to improve this thing is to each position, each player, zero in on his responsibilities. We've probably will come out in the best shape injury-wise. We'll put the best team on the field that we'll have put on there this year. So we ought to look forward to that against our next opponent.
Jerry,
y'all keep hearing it? They're turning it back in on the inside. Man, let me tell you something. Brian Schottenheimer has built an unbelievable culture up in this thing because these guys are talking about it's the player execution. They're not worried about no trade. They're talking about people in the building get better. Now, they can't be talking much about offense other than the Jekyll and the Hyde stuff. The defense, too. I mean, the defense it's like they're saying they can play better. Man, let me tell you something. Yeah, Jaden Justin says Dak Prescott don't lose on Monday night. Man, let me tell you, I think the Cowboys are going to get their streak. Arizona, Raiders, Eagles, then we'll see what they do against the Chiefs. But they got to be, man, I'm going to tell you, they are going to have to be ultimately ready against the Raiders. You think Pete Carroll want to lose against his understudy? Pete Carroll is not going to want to lose to Brian Schottenheimer. Boy, he better be ready. And Brian, he probably going to want to light it up on him at least. I don't know. They don't seem to have that kind of fire like that. I mean, we've watched Matt Eberflus go to the Bears. They were not fired up for that. We watched White Cotton go to the Jets. Might have been a little fired up. It was 37-22. We watched Rico Dowdle. They wasn't fired up to go against Rico Dowdle. We've now seen the Denver Broncos. Javonte Williams and the Dallas Cowboys didn't seem excited. He said it was just another game. So when Brian Schottenheimer goes up against Pete Carroll, he'll probably be saying the same thing. Oh, it's just another game. Boy, they got to get off that stuff. Yeah, Tanya Timms, welcome to the congregation. It's not just another game. I'm sorry, it's just certain things to me. It's just certain things need to be said when you're playing certain teams. There are just certain things to me. Man, I got to give my team a little bit extra incentive. Man, we gotta whoop some. We gotta whoop this team. We gotta whoop this team. This is our coach's old favorite. Our coach's ex-team. We can't let the Raiders beat them. But the Cowboys, I think they're gonna get this Arizona game. I'm more confident about the Philadelphia game because it's at home. That Raiders game, boy, they're gonna have to be on their P's and Q's. They're gonna have to be on their P's and Q's. They really are.
Jones joining us here on 105 Through the Fan. Jerry, you guys had talked about that a large portion of the reason for moving on from Micah Parsons was related to the run defense. Why has the run defense become more inefficient since he left?
We need combination. We need to basically have better play from the linebackers, maintaining the integrity of your gaps.
Wow.
The linebackers have to fill. The linebackers have to.
Whoa. Well, in case y'all didn't know, that is a shot at the linebackers, yes. But dang gone it. If Matt Eberflus is supposed to be the linebacker whisperer. Why are the linebackers playing so bad and he's the linebacker whisperer? Okay. I hear you, Jerry.
Slide. And so they did a good job on us, Denver, the other day, and we did a poor job. So we've got to do better there.
Jerry Jones joined us here at 105 through the Fan. A couple of weeks back, you said to us that this was the most capable pass rush that we've had. Do you still feel the same way about that, or have you changed your tune at all?
No, I'm from the standpoint of rushers. We had the highest number of rushers coming out of camp, of capable rushers that we have had, and we have maintained our we've maintained our health there. And when I look at our depth, some of them are playing at a level that we can get excited about. Some of them need to step their game up. But in terms of numbers, in terms of players that can rush that passer, we've got the best numbers that we've had.
Okay, Dallas Cowboy fans, can I please interpret what Jerry Jones is saying? People keep running wild with this take. Jerry Jones, by no stretch of the imagination, is saying that any of the pass rushers are better than Micah Parsons. That is not what Jerry is saying. Jerry is not even saying that the quality of the pass rushers, because it's really the same thing, is better than Micah Parsons. What Jerry is saying is that when Micah Parsons was here, we really only had one true pass rusher. He's saying now we got more pass rushers. Not a better pass rusher. We got more pass rushers. And so he's saying the pass rushers are better than the pass rushers we had because we didn't have as many when Micah was here. Can we get that in our minds? He's talking about the quantity. And when he's talking about the results, he's not talking about the results of one of them versus Micah Parsons. He's talking about the results of all of them combined. I mean, up until about the Arizona game, the Cowboys were pretty much on par with the same amount of sacks they had with Micah Parsons. Up until that Arizona game. And we have to understand, Micah Parsons is on a way better defense. He's on a way better defense. They're using him like a chess piece. They're using him to his strength. So Micah Parsons is going to thrive in that system. But what Jerry is saying, it's the quantity of the pass rushers. James Houston, Ezra Raku continues to get better. Jadeveon Clowney is starting to flash. Dante Fowler, Sam Williams, total disappointments. But what he's talking about is the quantity, not the quality. He's not saying they're better than Micah Parsons. We got to stop always trying to I know we hate Jerry Jones, but can we stop putting words in the man's mouth? He's not saying they're better than Micah Parsons. He knows. And Steven knows especially because Steven keeps saying we don't have the dominant pass rusher. Now, we're going to be talking about this in another year if the Lord is willing. We're going to be talking about this in another year. And we're going to be looking at these pass rushers different. In particular, Donovan Ezeraku. We're going to be talking about him different. You're going to see Donovan Ezeraku really emerge as we get deeper into the season and then next year. But Jerry ain't by no stretch of the imagination saying that this pass rush is better or these pass rushers are better than Micah Parsons. We got to stop running with that stuff.
Jerry, you said after the game, and you actually just referenced it here with us when you were kind of reflecting on the game, that the defense simply needs to play better, and you believe they can. What gives you confidence that the issues on defense are player-related and not coaching-related?
I have seen them do what we're asking them to do, the players. And I've seen the individual players make the kind of plays, practice the way that we want them to practice. So I've seen them do it.
Are y'all noticing? They're all echoing the same thing. They're all echoing the same thing. They're saying that we're not performing. I don't know what else to tell us. They're all saying we're not performing. This is one of the reasons why I'm telling you, man, people can say what they want to say. I just don't see them getting rid of Matt Eberflus. I really don't at this point in time. We'll see what happens at the end of the season. But again, if they do, it'll go against exactly what they've said. 3 defensive coordinators in 3 years. The only thing you're doing is compounding the problem. Then it'll be 4. And if it's going to be 4, man, you got to go out there. You got to go out there and get a show enough defensive coordinator, and it can't be another yes man. Man, I got a strange feeling, man, the Cowboys are not going to go away from Kevin Howard. What up? Man, I got a strange feeling they're not going to go away from Matt Eberflus.
And so I've got belief that as we continue to go forward, we'll do better. And I think that's the best way to say it. We didn't play well across the board for whatever the reason against Denver. It was a big game for us.
Well, Denver was good. That's one of the reasons.
How disappointed our fans are. But the answer here is not a single position. An answer here is just get better at what each of the players are doing that we want to do. Help on the way. Help on the way is important. We do have, as we look ahead, we have 2 or 3 key players, and we'll start getting healthier at safety, which we're really right now suffering from our depth with safety, and we're having to play some players that are a little unfamiliar compared to the veteran players that we thought we'd have back there. But that's not an excuse. That's a fact. But we should be able to play better than we played Sunday, even in those circumstances.
Jerry, a lot of the feedback that we've gotten on social media calls, whatever, is that they want you guys to make a move for a defensive player because of the misses in the draft defensively. Do you feel that you guys struggle drafting defensive players or have struggled recently?
Well, that's ready criticism. When you do it, I like our number 41. I think he's going to be one of the best players we've drafted recently. We've got to see it, but we're going to be bringing on Ravel that we drafted this round. I'm talking about within the last draft. As far as the overall long-term drafting, I'm pretty satisfied that we draft well.
Jerry, we've also heard from fans that it feels like Dak and the offense have to be pretty much perfect for the team to win games right now. Do you feel like there's too much pressure being put on Dak Prescott right now?
Not at all. Those guys put pressure on themselves. Dak's the number one self-imposed pressure man there is. We're lucky to have him. I'm glad we have him, and that's a decision. But we've got him. The other day, we knew we were playing a stellar defensive team. We didn't come out with our best game in all areas of the game, whether it be the running game, receiving game. It was just not a game that against a team like that.
Okay, let's look at something that Bobby Belt asked about the Cowboys drafting defensive players. Check this out. These are the defensive players the Cowboys have drafted since 2018. And man, I have got to tell you, boy, Cowboys, they have been striking out in defense. It is a fact. I mean, those hits, boy, they are far and in between. They hit on that offense, but on the defense, boy, it's been far and in between. Cowboys got Leighton Vander Esch. They knew Leighton Vander Esch had a neck issue when they got him. Cowboys had Dorrance Armstrong. Dorrance Armstrong is pretty good. Cowboys let him go. Cowboys got Chris Covington. Chris Covington in round 6, 2018, waived. 2019, round 2, they got Tristan Hill. Round 5, they got Michael Jackson. Said cornerback currently starts on Carolina. I don't know if that's recent. Joe Jackson, defensive end. Donovan Wilson, safety, 2019. Donovan Wilson is still here, but we've been complaining about him for 2 or 3 years now. And then they got Jalen Jelks, round 7. Strikeout after strikeout. 2020. They got Trayvon Diggs in round 2. Neville Gallimore, not extended. Reggie Robinson II, waived. Bradley Anae, signed to the practice squad by the Jets. Trevon Diggs was a great pick for the Cowboys. Unfortunately, injury riddled. Nisi made a great point this morning. We might as well call him the new Sean Lee. Just injury riddled. 2021, Cowboys got Michael Parsons. Great pickup by the Cowboys. Round 2, Kelvin Joseph. No longer here. Also Diggy extended. Chauncey Golston, not extended. Nashawn Wright, traded. Jabril Cox, waived. Quentin Bohanna, waived. Israel Mukwamu. I don't even understand the Cowboys waiving Israel Mukwamu. I don't understand the Mukwamu thing. I don't understand that one. 2022, Sam Williams, disappointment. Deron Bland, still here. Extended. Damone Clark, still here, won't be here. John Ridgeway, waived. Devin Harper, waived. 2023, Mozzie Smith, they're going to have to admit they made a mistake on that one. Overshown has been injured the last couple of years, but he's a great pick. Fihoko, waived. Eric Scott Jr., waived. Seems like I missed. Where's Taco Charlton? Where in the world is Taco Charlton? Okay, he was probably before 2018. Because you want to talk about a miss. Shoot, they missed and threw the bat on him. 2024, Marshawn Nealon, struggling. Maurice Leofau, I think he needs more snaps. Kalen Carson, I'm not sold on him. Justin Rogers, waived. So the new group they drafted, they all look pretty good to me. Tommy King Basadi, waived. Jay Toya, Shamar James, Savon Revel Jr., Donovan Ezeraku. I think those 3 have the potential to be really good. But yeah, the Cowboys have struggled. They have struggled drafting defense. They're right on that.
That you're going to have a lot of success with. Even at that, we had our chances in the game. But we just, pre-snap penalties, those kinds of things all bite you when you aggregate them up. And that's how you lose a ball game. And in the NFL, it can get away from you pretty quick. That score can get up there. We keep a possession, make a score right before half. You got a totally different ball game because the defense and offense play differently when they've got a lead than they do when a game is tight.
Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones with us here on Sean and RJ on 105 through the Fan. Jerry, Tyler Guyton has had some struggles at times this season at left tackle for you guys. What is your level of confidence in Tyler Guyton today?
I have.
Wait a minute. Can somebody explain to me how does Bobby Belt actually expect Jerry to answer this question? Yeah, he's terrible. Yeah, he got his butt whooped against the Denver Broncos. He gonna step up or else. Man, what does he expect this dude to say, man?
I have great confidence that he's got the skills, his physical, to the link to overcome what? To overcome, let's say, a pre-snap penalties. I have seen that done, and I've seen his first 3 years, including this year. He's out there pretty in a pretty open space that a lot of people can take a look at how he's playing. But he can get better. Players do get better with pre-snap. Concentration, focus, they can. It usually comes at the worst time, and when it does, it messes up, seems like, the best plays. How about a touchdown the other day? So having said all of that, got a lot of confidence in him. He's unique in his talent, unique in his feet to have the length that he's got. I do very much think he's going to be a top player for us.
Jerry, yesterday Brian Schottenheimer said after a game like that, he said, quote, "You have to be solution-oriented. The solutions are making adjustments to scheme, changes to personnel, giving this guy a little bit more playing time and all that." What kind of changes to the scheme and the personnel do you anticipate seeing over the next few weeks?
I think you'll see some of the players. You don't have the hours that it would take to get into any specifics, but I think you'll see more time spent in the linebacker room by coaching. I think you'll see a lot of on the offensive side of the ball. I'll see a lot of zeroing in by the meetings and the coaching staff on I mentioned it 2 or 3 times, your penalty situation. And I think we'll continue to work to eliminate those turnovers. We had them there Sunday. We hadn't had them on offense. That'll help you get behind the 8 ball in these football games. But bottom line, the answer here, because the areas were numerous, because they are things that we've all seen addressed, cleared up. Every one of these players have played in a way, and they've had many, many snaps this year, playing in a way that if they would play that way all at the same time, or the majority of them at the same time, we have a different outcome.
Jerry Jones right here on 105.3 The Fan every single Tuesday on Sean and RJ. Jerry, Diana Rossini from The Athletic quoted you from the owners' meeting saying if there was a deal, I would more look at the back end versus the pass rush. And then Jay Glazer reported that you guys inquired about Crosby and Hendrickson. Can you help clear any of that up? No, because it's all of that. And nobody said there was a deal. There hadn't been anything close to a deal. But we're looking at all phases of our roster.
Now, did y'all hear how Jerry answered that? Can you clear it up? He said all of that. Yeah, Jerry has been lying to the local media because Jerry don't want the local media running wild. At least that's what I believe. Jerry verified. Yeah. We have been on the phone contrary to what people said. Yeah. Rossini, Glazer, Fowler, Wingo, they are saying the Cowboys have been on the phone. The problem is the Cowboys are getting told no. Cowboys are getting told no. And I'm telling you one of the reasons why they're being told no. The parity in this league is crazy. I mean, the Washington Commanders actually had us thinking last night that they might beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, for about a quarter and a half, everybody was like, ain't no way. This league's got a lot of parity in it. And so you're going to have to literally go, if you're talking about players that you're going to try to get. I mean, you're literally going to have to go to bottom of the barrel teams who, I mean, how many teams out there who you think are really looking for that? They're really looking for to blow it up. Miami Dolphins, maybe? Miami Dolphins? Maybe you could get some from the Tennessee Titans? I'm telling you this Myles Garrett thing. Now, I do think that with the Myles Garrett issue, if I'm not mistaken, kind of listening to somebody, because I follow this Shador Sanders stuff, and it sounds like they got a stadium that they're either getting built or they're trying to get built. And people have been alluding to, they kind of want some headliners to kind of convince them to agree to, I guess, this stadium or whatever they're trying to do. And so that may be one of the reasons why they may not let go of Myles Garrett. But I don't know. Myles Garrett is pretty ticked off right now. You never know. I mean, he might have got that deal last year, but he might make a stink right before the trade deadline. And Myles Garrett is from this area. He'd love to be in Dallas. I promise you. Myles Garrett would love to play in Dallas. He would love to play in Dallas. And I'd love for him to play in Dallas. But, man, be anxious for nothing. But I do think the Cowboys are going to do something. Hey, Logan D, you heard Dak Prescott say it? Shoot, Dak Prescott said we like our guys. He said it before Jerry said it. That's Dak Prescott on Sunday night.
Most teams are right now. We happen to have what would appear for us a bigger need than we've had.
Man, let me tell you something. My 5 TR3 Kush. Boy, hey, let me tell you something. If the Cowboys make the first round in Brian Schottenheimer's first year, man, this fan base is lose. This fan base will lose their mind. This fan base will lose their mind. Because I'm telling you now, if the Cowboys were to get to the playoffs, shoot. The playoffs? Cowboys get to the doggone playoffs, man, everybody gonna lose their mind. Gonna lose their mind. Shoot. Man, that would be, man, for the Cowboys from where they are now to make the playoffs? Shoot. Boy, they must. Man, I don't care what anybody say. The fan base would go banana bonkers. Because that means something changed. Shoot. First round. Man, a first round knockout? Shoot, ain't nobody gonna be complaining about that on a first-year coach. A first-year coach? Nah, ain't nobody gonna be complaining about that. All right, let me see something here. All right, let's keep listening to Jerry.
But each time you look at a player, a position, a trade for, or for that matter, one of your players that you're trading for another player, you just got to look. Don't look too far out of the boundaries of what you're getting and trading within the position. Within the position, not relative to your record, or frankly, it's a mistake to do it relative to how they played the week before. It needs to be their entire evaluation of a player that you've had, certainly during and the time you started at training camp. So all of that goes into whether or not you'll be making a trade or not. And I don't know if we will or not.
Jerry, you've mentioned here a few times the linebacker group and how you need to get better play out of them and more time spent in the coaching room with them. When we talk about the trade deadline, could linebacker be one of the targets that you'd be looking for?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Not at all. But possibly so. Now, how about that for an answer? But guys, really, it is an area where you can spend more time and you can get better. It's a point of emphasis for everybody. My point this morning is that every position out there should be, during the week between games, looking for the things you didn't do it well, addressing them during your practice and your basically meeting times with other players. And then obviously a look at a game is not necessarily an entertaining thing at all by coaches or players, and none of us would expect that. It is actually looking for the things you didn't do well. Now, by the way, you should start with one thing that you did do well and then be able to handle the 4 or 5 things that you didn't do well. So that's the psychology of having criticism when you're a football player. And I've certainly in my lifetime had a lot of it. I thought the coaches were out to get me, hated me, everything but book. Took me about 10 minutes out of the meeting room to realize they were right, just trying to help me. That goes with it. There's very few games that players really have everything about it make them feel good. But the good news is, or the bad news is, you can't let it happen as many times in as many places as we did Sunday.
Jerry, I know you said that this game didn't really change your view on what you're going to do at the deadline, but this Arizona game, if it comes up and it doesn't go the way you want, and you're 3-5-1 with the deadline a couple of 2 days later, could you see that changing your plan at the deadline?
No, I think you're trying to improve what you're going to be doing in November and December and January. You're trying to do that, but how big a price you want to pay for it? Do you want to take a pick, for instance, that could pick maybe the 35th player in the draft for the player that can help you through January? Now, obviously, you'd say, no, I want one that helped me through many Januaries in the future. Every club in the NFL is looking for that deal. Every club. That specific deal right there. And that's not to say that we don't all have competition, but you just have to sit there and see if it fits us. There's no magic. Secondly, we had several things that didn't play right Sunday, not to be tried or not to be anyway. One addition at this time to correct what we would like to totally correct Sunday has got to be from within, not from without.
Woo! Jerry, you talk about, you have to see if a trade fits.
Woo! Does this not sound like Dak Prescott? Shoot. Dak Prescott says, shut up and play. Shut up and get better. Jerry Jones is saying that if there's any true change that's going to come on this team, Jerry said if there's any player that's truly going to make an impact on this team, that player is from within. Wow. Boy, Jerry. Man. I hear you, Jerry. They're asking their players to step up. It's basically what they're saying.
It's for you guys in order to do that. When you think about the type of player that would intrigue you enough to pull the trigger on a trade, give up some capital, what kind of traits are you thinking of and looking for in a player?
Well, again, one that loves football. That seems trite. Why would they be out there playing it? Some do more than others. And so you're looking for guys that just are from within, self-motivators, miserable when they don't play well, and they exude that around their teammates. That's just a little thing called makeup right there. Now, obviously, you want to get a player that is in the top percentile of the kind of players that you'd like to go forward with. That has a price tag. There's very few people that would agree it better be something good before we give a top pick for it. it better be something good before we give a top ascending young player for it. You shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do it at all. It better be a bushel basket full. Now, if you can get a lot of it coming back your way, you have the same phone call on the same hooked into your ear. You have it coming back at you too. Would you guys give up this to get that? And so you can have an opportunity to have less now, more in the future.
See, I'm telling you what has transpired with the Cowboys. See, when Jerry was telling us stuff like whoever picks up the phone first, Jerry was saying that because they picked up the phone first. And these teams are either saying no or they're telling the Cowboys what they want. And what they want is probably a lot. Yep, what they're wanting is probably a lot. So they've been striking out. I mean, I just think it's the bottom line. They've been striking out.
Jerry Jones right here on 105.3 The Fan. Trayvon Diggs goes on the IR, Jerry. Did you guys consider NFI for Diggs after the concussion issue?
No. Diggs' biggest problem is he's injured, and it's not the
Good. Guys, what's going on with Trayvon Diggs? This dude went from concussion now, to Jerry Jones now saying Diggs' problem is he's injured.
same knee that he's been doing his rehab with. So that's his number one challenge. Unfortunately, he's got a handful of challenges here that are physically related. And that's why he was the status he's got today.
Jerry, is there a chance, or can you see a scenario where
Now, Jerry said everything that's going on with Trayvon Diggs, it's all physical. And we're going to talk about this when we get to the Trayvon Diggs section.
Diggs has played his last game for this team?
I don't see that today at all.
Jerry, you talked about his love of, or you talked about loving football just a second ago. Do you still feel good about Trayvon Diggs' love of football?
Yes, I do. But again, he's got to get well, and he hasn't been.
Jerry, Micah came out yesterday and said, I feel like they screwed Diggs over. The organization let him down. My question to you is, do you feel like Trayvon rushed to start the season too early? Did that kind of set him back from the beginning versus maybe waiting a little bit longer, getting banged up?
No, not at all.
Jerry,
This stuff with Trayvon Diggs stinks. How many times have y'all heard Jerry Jones, when they ask Jerry Jones a question, it's yes or no? Jerry Jones is typically going to give you the story about when he was a kid, when he was at Arkansas or wherever, or he's always going to give you some story. He's going to elaborate on a player. He's going to tell you what he thinks about him, and boom, boom, boom. Anybody knows how short he's been about Trayvon Diggs? And I'm always listening very closely to Jerry. Has Trayvon Diggs played his last game with the Cowboys? Do you see that today? Or do you see that he says, not today, I don't? I'm listening to you, Jerry. I'm listening to you. Not today means he ain't playing for the next 4 weeks. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm going to be shocked if Trayvon Diggs plays for the Cowboys again. I'll be shocked if he plays another game. I'll be absolutely shocked. And I think the Cowboys will be crazy. I'm just being honest with you. I think they would be crazy to put Trayvon Diggs on the field again. Because if Trayvon Diggs got one of them, if he has one of them clauses in his contract to where if he gets injured, the Cowboys are on the hook for that salary for next season, no, the Cowboys don't need to let him play again. The Cowboys don't need another year of Trayvon Diggs because the Cowboys are not saying it outright, but the Cowboys don't like Diggs. Diggs don't appreciate the Cowboys for trading Micah Parsons. There is a lot of bad blood in here. We're talking about everything from the rehab to everything. These two sides need to depart. It's the best thing for both of them. DJW, appreciate that super sticker. And I think the Cowboys are being very short on this situation purposely. And Micah Parsons, again, the stuff that Micah Parsons said, we're going to look at that in a moment. The stuff that Micah Parsons said to me is, it's just dumb. It's dumb to me. It doesn't even make sense. Let me see. Dominique said, do you remember when I asked you what is Jerry's obsession with edge rushers? I knew him getting all of them would be a bad idea. Dominique, shoot. Boy, Jerry Jones got a bunch of pass rushers. I think he's got 3 good ones. But Dante Fowler has let this organization down. Hey, Bass, that shot about the linebackers, to me, that was a direct shot at Matt Eberflus. Because he's supposed to be the linebacker whisperer. Boy, that was a shot. Yeah, Chanel, that's what I was saying too. Jerry is basing this on the numerical numbers. People keep acting like Jerry's saying, yeah, man, we better than, the Russian is better than Michael. That's not what he's saying. That is not what he's saying. And people keep running with that and trying to just, Jerry does enough bad things that you don't have to bash Jerry Jones over things that he's not saying. There are plenty of things that he's done that people can be mad at. But that statement, I don't even understand why people get mad about that. It's one of the dumbest things I see people getting mad about. Jerry is not saying that these guys are better than Micah Parsons. He's just saying we got more pass rushers than we had when we had Micah Parsons. It's that simple. People are just killing them. Nebraska said, y'all blame every coach and player year after year, and the common denominator is Jerry, and all the other coaches and players are gone, and y'all still lose, so tell me. Well, again, I think the Cowboys are on their way to building this team, but I told us this already. You cannot build. I'm not saying that you can't, but what it requires to build a championship team in a season with a rookie coach, brand new staff, brand new defensive coordinator, brand new defensive system, that's a tall glass. That's a tall glass. I don't care who it is. That's a tall glass. Baz said, G said it already. They're going to give Eberflus a real shot. I think so too. They'll give him a contract and excuse him having lost Micah. And I think they'll excuse him for that and give him another chance. Bass, not only that, think about all the injuries. Think about all the players left over from these previous regimes. Man, I'm just preparing us. It won't shock me if the Cowboys fire him. But it also won't shock me if the Cowboys keep him and blow this defense up, with the exceptions of some of the ones who are under contract and some of the ones they want to put under contract, and the Cowboys blow this thing up, and they're going to bring him in key pieces and players to do exactly what he wants to do on defense. Sorry to be the one to tell you. I don't know if I'm the bearer of bad news, but I think that's what it's going to be.
Just for clarification, is it Trayvon's other knee that has been giving him the problem here as of late?
It's his other knee that's injured, yes. Not his reconstructed knee.
Jerry Jones right here on The Fan. We talked about this a lot with Coach McCarthy, the penalty issues.
I'm telling y'all, this to me came out of left field. And I'm sure it came out of left field on a lot of people. This came out of left field. And I told y'all the story last week. I won't repeat it. But I'm just telling you, I've heard a lot of people talk about when you get one knee, you get something worked on. If you're not careful, you'll overcompensate on the other one. Now, let's think about Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs injures one knee, rehabs, injures another knee, rehabs, and he can afford to overcompensate on a knee that's already gave him problems before. It's a recipe for disaster. And I said this before too. Man, you start messing with the knees of cornerbacks and wide receivers, that's tough. And we're talking both knees on Trayvon Diggs. We're not talking about one. We're talking about both. Now, thankfully, as it applies to Demarion Overshown, he hasn't had a bone graft. He hasn't had something that serious. But the Cowboys are going to even have to be careful how they proceed with Overshown. Cowboys got to be real careful how they proceed with Overshown. Man, don't bring Overshown in ramping him up on 40 and 50 snaps in the first game. Now, they're going to be real selective with how they do this with Overshown.
How much do you think that has changed with Coach Schottenheimer? Is it still a major problem for you guys? How are you looking at the penalties as of late?
I think it's a problem as of Sunday, but not to the degree it was. We've improved in that area, but we're making progress. And Sunday was a step back, but I think generally we've got our hands. I know this. It's one that's up front in the minds of all of our linemen and our receivers lining up.
Jerry Jones joined us here at 105.3 The Fan. Any idea, what is the issue with the offense on the road? It seems like at home, I mean, this thing is putting up 40 points a game. On the road, it's a much bigger struggle. Have you had any idea what the reasoning is there?
There it is.
Well, the traditional one is noise, and you've got to do more hand signals.
Noise? Come on, man. Noise causes you to call a conservative game? Nah, we ain't buying that one, Jerry.
To communicate, one of the best things we do, maybe the best in the league, is how well our quarterback sets the play up, how well he's communicating out there to all of our players. And he's outstanding. And when you get a lot of noise, you can mitigate that, and so you have to use other ways to communicate, no matter what. If it's an extreme amount, and there are a lot of places that are real loud, then you'll have to have less communication or less effective communication.
Jerry, last one for you, and thanks for entertaining all the trade questions. What do you think is more likely, making a move there or adding someone off the street maybe to help out defensively? I don't have a weight on that. It's all there. In other words, all options are there, and I do not have. I can tell you this right now: there is not a trade in my mind, the beginning and end of one, as we sit here and talk at all. And that's not a hedge. We just don't have one at this time that I would do. Jerry, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. Good luck Monday night.
Yeah, the Joneses have been told no. And I think what they're going to do is that this is going to get down to we'll see what it do on that Wednesday. But the Cowboys have been told no on three of the players I think they wanted. But I think Max Crosby is the one that they wanted. It's just not gonna happen. I mean, it hasn't happened. And we'll see if it does happen. But I do think the Cowboys are going to bring in somebody. It's just a matter of who they bring in. Now, when you listen to Stephen Jones, and I think it's very interesting when you listen to Stephen Jones. I think listening to them, Stephen Jones talks more football sense than Jerry. Jerry, to me, seems like he's kind of talking on an informed point, like someone has either told him or he's listening in. But Stephen Jones, when he talks, he sounds a lot better. And Stephen is really talking, to me, a lot better football. Check this out.
This is Ford Dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Let's talk with Dallas Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, guys.
When you look at the kind of up and down nature of the team's run defense thus far this season, do you think that it's injuries at play, or is it just kind of a varying level of execution from week to week?
I would probably say the latter. I mean, obviously, the injuries don't help your situation when you're trying to be more consistent and execute on a high level. Obviously, we were missing, and nobody's complaining, our three safeties. We lost our fifth one, halfway through the game. But, that everybody deals with that, and we have to work through that. And, the bigger thing is I'd start with giving, Denver a lot of credit. I mean, Sean's got a great offensive mind, and he looked at the tape against Washington, and, they had some good things, that caused us problems. And, we've got to continue to come up with solutions that are going to fit our personnel the best right now while we're getting healthy. Obviously, we got guys that are going to be coming back, whether it's Dono or Hooker or Wanye or Overshone or, any of these guys that could certainly help us. But in the meantime, we've got to, do a better job. We're not getting the job done. We know we're not getting it done. You are what you are. And certainly, right now we're ranked 32nd in defense in the league. And we've got to be better than that if we want to give ourselves opportunity to win games. Obviously, that was a tough environment. Their defense played really well. It's a hostile crowd there, and we didn't play as well as we think we can play on offense. And certainly our defensive play, we weren't able to go toe-to-toe with them. So certainly the performance was disappointing at best.
I'm telling you, Stephen talks these days. Stephen Jones talks man, when I'm telling you that Stephen Jones football talk is like leaps and bounds better than Jerry Jones. Leaps and bounds. Yep. Didn't execute. And the Denver Broncos just smacked you upside the head.
Is there, especially when you use the term toe-to-toe, is there anything in particular, whether it's getting more pressure on the quarterback, whether it's cutting down on the big plays, is there anything in particular that you look at as you're like, that's the linchpin to this defense perhaps playing better?
Yeah, I think there's some things we're looking at. Obviously, we want right to work on it. And, I think most of our depths in our defensive line, and we got to look at some options there. I think stopping the run.
Tatum, I would love to do
it. And you said it best to start the show. We're not doing a good job. We've been inconsistent at best, and you got to start. We need to stop that run, and we're looking at some options there, and see what we can do. But it is the full body of work at the end of the day, and we've got to do everything better than what we're getting done right now.
Those options that you're kind of looking at, are you looking at the defensive tackle spot, defensive end spot? What would be the one you like the most there?
I just think it's all the above.
Okay.
We've got to get up there and give ourselves an opportunity, and a lot of this is fits, and the safeties are involved in the fits, and we've got to, one time I think we had our nickel cornerback there playing safety, so we've just got to get in here and roll up our sleeves and go back to work and improve.
And I know I asked you this similar question 2 weeks ago, but I think it helps shape y'all's philosophy and helps inform the audience. When you say that, it is because you still believe this team has the makings of a team that could make it to the playoffs, yes?
Absolutely. I mean, we're going to continue to grind it. I think, offensively, we've got the pieces there. to be an outstanding team, and we've got to continue to look at the ways that we can improve this defense and, make some stops. And if we can get some stops, then, I think our offense will play well. They've played well all year. Like I said, we had some unfortunate turnovers. We lost the turnover battle, which isn't, that certainly doesn't lead to winning the football game. So we got to be better there. But you also got to give Denver credit. They've got a really good defense. They lead the league in sacks. Obviously, they got a lot of pressure on Dak yesterday, and we have to be better.
Stephen, I think it was Jerry told us a couple weeks ago or last week that the Washington game wasn't necessarily the thing that would make any decision.
Now, I showed this last night, but there are some new people in the congregation, so let's kind of show this again. But there is a pathway for the Cowboys to get to the playoffs. There is a pathway. And the pathway, it's a simple pathway. It's a very simple pathway, but the Cowboys have got to navigate it. They've got to navigate it. They beat the Commanders. They lost to the Broncos. That was a blow. The Broncos are good. They got to beat the Cardinals. They have got to beat the Cardinals because the reality of this situation is you can't afford to lose another game. At least not at this stage. You can't afford to lose another game because the only thing that does is it puts more pressure on you that the Chiefs and the Lions game have more weight. So the Cowboys have got to beat the Cardinals. I'm getting a little concerned about the Raiders game. That's going to be the Pete Carroll, Brian Schottenheimer Bowl. I got a W by that, but I got cautioned by it too. It's a road game. We look different on the road. Brian's got to let it all hang out when he gets on the road again against his former coach. So they got to win this Raiders game. And then the Eagles game, book it. They're beating the Eagles at home. The Eagles beat the Cowboys in Philly. The Cowboys are going to beat Philly in Dallas. It's a divisional game. These things, this is kind of how they play out. The Chiefs and the Lions. I put L's beside those hypothetically. But the Cowboys got to, let me tell you something. If the Cowboys can figure out a way to get one of those, it'll be huge. I think the one they can get is the Kansas City Chiefs, believe it or not. Because the Cowboys, we saw them go toe-to-toe. We saw them go toe-to-toe with the Kansas City Chiefs. We saw them go toe-to-toe with the Green Bay Packers. It was 40-40. It was a tie. The Cowboys, they have put up points at home, and they have went back and forth. We saw how they battled the Giants. So if it needs to be a 50-50 game, the Cowboys can do that. At home especially. The game that I feel more confident between the Lions and the Chiefs, I think the Cowboys can get the Chiefs game, but it's going to be tough because the Cowboys are going to run the gauntlet. They're going to play Monday night. They play Monday night, bye week. And then, if I'm not mistaken, isn't the Raiders game either a Monday night or a Sunday night game? Then they're going to come back. They're going to play the Eagles on a Sunday and the Chiefs on a Thursday. Boy, that's a tough. The Cowboys do this every year, and it's tough. That 3 games in a 21-day stretch? That is tough. Starts with the Raiders. They got to do all of that in a 3-game in a 21-day span. 3 games in I think it's less than 21 days. I think you're talking about somewhere like 18 to 19 days. Man, the Cowboys got to get it in though. They have to beat the Chiefs. If they can find a way to beat the Chiefs, it's going to be tough. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be tough. Patrick Mahomes may have one of his Patrick Mahomes can literally have one of his Texas Tech days. Unless Cowboys bring in somebody during the trade deadline, Overshown and Butler and all these guys make that difference. And boy, it's going to be tough. They're going to go on the road against the Lions. I just think that's going to be too tough of a game on the road. But I do think they can beat the Vikings. The Vikings are not good. They're just not. They're not good. The Commanders, I think they're going to be bad all year. The Chargers, it'll be a tough game, but I think the Cowboys can get it. But I got a question mark by that one. I think they can get it. And then the Giants game. I think they can get the Giants in New York. The path, when I tell you the path is tough, it's tough. It is absolutely tough. It's requiring the Cowboys to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is requiring the Cowboys to win 7 games at the end. 7 games. It's going to be tough. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. And 10, honestly, 10 might not get you in. 10 might not get you in. I think 11 gets you in. 10 might not even get you in. Man, the Cowboys got to navigate this if they want to make them playoffs. They do.
Decisions there. A couple of times we use the word rewarding your team by adding a player that could help put you over the top, like in a big trade or something like that. What would be a good measuring point, a good place that you would go, okay, I do need to reward this team because they did that for us?
Yeah, I think we're always, one thing that I think people don't understand is we work every year, especially as you roll down to the trade deadline. We make every call. We talk to all 31 teams. And see if there's, options there that make sense for us that would be the right thing to do. And if that opportunity presents itself, which we're looking at options right now, and we'll decide if we think, that's the best option for us at the moment. And but that's every year. We're always looking for ways to improve our team. Obviously, this trade deadline comes early in the NFL. And certainly we have to take a long, hard look at that and see if the right opportunity's there.
I don't suppose you can give us any more insight about specifics on what you're looking at, right?
No, we can't do that.
Or the teams you've called.
Worth
no, and no.
Okay, all right.
Worth a shot.
What up,
now,
Sweet Z?
you go back to yesterday's game, and I know the issues that we've already talked about with the defense, but the false start on the first offensive drive and then James Houston being offsides, those 2 plays right there could have swung the balance of the game 11 points. It's not just the number of penalties. It felt like those 2 specifically. Did you feel like they changed the trajectory of that game?
I think Coach Schottenheimer always addresses that. The pre-snaps are unacceptable. We have to be better than that. Our players got to be better than that. And those are all things we can do something about in terms of being more disciplined. And, you're correct. They certainly were huge penalties. We got a 3 and out there. If Houston's heads not across the ball, and certainly, the motion we had there, when we're at the half-yard line, that hurts. When you're on the road, you got to get your touchdowns, and especially, where we are right now with this team, we got to maximize our points and maximize our possessions. But you make good points on all the above. We didn't play well enough to win the game yesterday. You got to start with giving Denver credit. But we got to go. Everybody's got to look in the mirror and see where they can be better.
Now,
see, they keep saying the same thing. They keep saying the players got to get better. They do. Yeah, Katharina's kiss. You're right. Yeah, they were told no, G, because they know our offense elite. You never know the Raiders. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. 70s Fan Show said, you can say the offense wasn't good or the defense was atrocious, but the truth is the Denver Broncos have had our number for decades. No doubt. And hey, 70s Fan Show, I want to make sure, man, Denver's a good team. I think Denver has won 9 games in a row. Won their last 9 games in a row at home. So they're a good team. And as much as I don't like Sean Payton's antics, Sean Payton is an offensive guy. He can call plays. Bass, man, I'm telling you, this is a combination of things. Some of these players are going to have to go. Lock and D said he think we'll get Minka Fitzpatrick at the NFL deadline. Yeah, Tatiana, we had a bunch of injuries last year. Yep. Injuries keep plaguing this team. But I don't think it's the injuries. They were bad before the injuries. Katharina says, I don't think we're signing anybody, G. Honestly, they will work on the defense after the season, just my opinion, especially if they're being told no. Katharina, I'm gonna tell you something else though. If they don't win, if the Cowboys don't win Sunday, that's gonna be tough. And I said it this morning, and I'm gonna say it again. That is the Cowboys' opportunity. If they want to cut loose Matt Eberflus, do it during the bye week. I wouldn't wait another day. Do it that Tuesday. If you lose Monday, do it that Tuesday. Do it that Tuesday. If you're going to let somebody on staff do it, or if you're going to bring somebody in as an interim, do it on that Tuesday. Give whoever that is an opportunity, at least almost 2 weeks to get ready for, because they got to get ready for the Raiders, the Eagles, the Chiefs. They got to get ready for 3 teams pretty much. They got to put something in that's going to work. What up, Meech? I don't know how far I am, but I don't think I'm maybe about an hour or so. Well, Sweet Zeke, I think, you know what? I think it depends on if they win. Because if they lose, man, they 3-5-1. You talking about how many games are left after 3-5-1? 8 games? That literally means if there's 8 games left and you're 3-5-1, Cowboys couldn't even lose a game. And I mean a game would be the absolute maximum. You'd be one more game away from being done. One more game. And if you're one more game from being done, do you actually go out there and get somebody at the trade deadline to say that they're going to help you win 7 games in a row? This Arizona game is pivotal. But I'm really not concerned about it because the Cowboys, they've scored 40 points a game. I think they're going to do it again. I think they're going to put up a lot of points on Arizona. And even if Arizona gets us on some points, I just don't think Arizona got 40 in them. They can surprise me, but I don't think Arizona's got 40 in them.
Absolutely. Denver deserves credit, and they are up to 6-2. On the flip side, I know Parcells would always say you are what your record is. Is there any concern for you or the organization that if you look inside this team's record just a little bit, the teams that y'all have beaten are now a combined 6-17?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't look at that in terms of the teams we've beaten, the teams we've tied, the teams we've, at the end of the day, we're 3-4-1, and that's what we are. We have to be better than that. That's not going to get us in the playoffs. So we've all obviously got to change the narrative there, and as I said, it all starts.
Yeah, Ron Hanna, you're actually right. Yeah, it's 3 games in 10 days. You're actually right. See, that's why I said, if you don't fire Eberflus Tuesday, you might as well let him finish the season. Because there's no way. We got a game on the 17th, a game on the 23rd, a game on the 27th. Man, if you come out of that thing, yeah, you're right. That's 10 days. That's 3 games in 10 days. The Cowboys will get 2, basically kind of like 2 bye weeks. They'll get a bye week. Arizona, they play November the 3rd. They don't play again till the 17th. They play that last game on the 27th, and then the Cowboys, we don't see them again until the 4th. Yeah, we don't see them again until the 4th. There's no way you're going to bring a coach in that's going to have this team prepared for 3 games in a row. This is why this Arizona game is so important. They have got to win that game. They are about to run the gauntlet of their schedule. The 3 games in 10 days. Boy, I'm telling you, the Cowboys got to get out of that thing with no injuries. They have to get out of that thing with no injuries. That is going to be tough on a lot of players. It really is. But again, man, if they don't win that game against Arizona, you got to ask yourself, anybody you bring in, they can only be for next year. And that's why anybody you would bring in on that trade, it would need to be somebody who's already under contract. You ain't got to deal with the contract the following season or the season after. And I mean, they have got to be a real difference maker. And I'm talking Myles Garrett, Max Crosby. Anybody else, Cowboys probably just need to fold it up, keep those picks, and just roll with it.
Had one of our top players say, we all got to look in the mirror. And that starts at the top and goes from our executives to our personnel people to our coaching staff to our players. We all have to be better.
I'm glad you said that too, because it starts at the Shoddy said yesterday after the game that his play calling wasn't good enough, and he mentioned that multiple times. Do you feel like he was kind of falling on the sword there, or do you feel like you kind of got the same vibe that his play calling wasn't at its best yesterday?
Yeah, I think the hype button is
I'm not going to get into the details of each individual
it's a US
person.
thing.
We all have to be better, and certainly he made that statement as well.
If y'all see that hype button, make sure you hit that hype button. And again, you just heard Stephen Jones. We're listening to an echo chamber. They're saying the same thing. They all got to get better.
And whether it's
Listen to
all have to be better. And
Yep.
I'm going to get into the details of each individual person. We all have to be better.
Yep.
And certainly he made that statement as well. And whether it's Jerry, whether it's myself, whether it's Will McClay and his staff, whether it's Shoddy and his staff, or our players, we have to be better.
Jaden Blue yesterday had a couple of flashes. He had the 14-yard run. He also had the fumble. What kind of gauge are you getting on what Blue is and the opportunities he earns and deserves?
Yep, good point. He's a young player that I think has tremendous upside, as everybody's seen. It flashes, and but at the same time, he's got to, be more consistent himself. And certainly, the fumble didn't end up hurting us. But he's got to clean those type of things up. At the same time, you see the juice that he has and the explosion that he can bring. But he's a young player that I think is just going to continue to get better. But, it's got to start today. He's got to, just like the rest of us, we all got to, get to work.
How do you monitor the progress of Wanye Thomas?
The Monday night game against who? Let me know.
Issues with migraines. What's the level
Yes,
of concern
sir. Let
for
me know.
him?
Well,
Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Let me know,
like
Meech.
any medical thing, you're looking for the answers. His is not a clear-cut situation. We've run a lot of tests on him in terms of his concussions, and our thought process is hopefully this thing clears up and he can continue to help us, because certainly we miss him. You miss Hooker, you miss Dono, you miss those guys. The guys we were counting on when the season started, but that's part of the NFL. Every team goes through this. That's the nature of our game, and we've got to continue to push forward with the guys who are available, and hopefully the guys who aren't will be available sooner than later.
Then that question, obviously.
Metro Boom, I don't think the defense has faith in the defense. Metro Boom. Boy, I don't think the defense have faith in the defense, man. I don't. Shotty, the only thing holding this thing together, man. I don't think the defense has faith in the defense. And I'm just telling y'all the reality we live in. The Cowboys are going to have to score 40 points to win these games, unless there is some huge improvement on this defense. Overshown ain't going to take this defense to another. I'm not going to say he's not going to take it to another level, but we're so low, man. The Mario and Overshown could take us up 3 levels and it still be a problem. Man, shoot. Man, the Cowboys defense so low. I mean, we literally knocking on hell right now. I mean, the Cowboys defense is knocking on the doors of hell. It's that bad. It is that bad. So even if we would have, if he raises up some levels, man, we still got heat. Well, we still got heat on our back, man.
Stands for Trayvon Diggs. Do you feel like he can still contribute to this team once his injured reserve time is up?
Yes, I think he very well can. We felt like this was in his best interest. As you know, he's been on and off injury reports all year with his knee and, the condition of one of his knees and certainly the concussion. He still hadn't cleared.
This knee thing is brand new. I don't know how to call the knee thing. We're going to talk about Trayvon Diggs things when we close the show out. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. It's too negative for me. We already got so many things going on. I want to keep everybody focused on what's going on the field. But this stuff with Trayvon Diggs, it is getting stupider by the moment. They're so hush. They're so, okay, yeah, Meech, send me the info to my Let's Talk Cowboys at gmail.com. Yeah, send it to my email at Let's Talk Cowboys at gmail.com. All one word.
Protocol yet there, and we just felt like, it was in his best interest, our best interest, for him to just get well. I think that's the number one thing with him, and then hopefully the rest will follow. But now he'll get the opportunity to do that without the pressure of the week to week or, of are you going to play or not.
Did Trayvon Diggs hold the same opinion that this was in his best interest?
Yeah, we won't get into all the private conversations that we have internally.
Do you, that might be the answer to this one as well. Do you feel as though there are lingering issues between Trayvon and the club?
Same answer. I mean, we have ongoing dialogue with players all the time, pretty much for the most part with all of them. And, we don't share that dialogue.
Does Joe Milton throw the prettiest deep ball in the NFL?
I tell you what, he's a gifted guy, and certainly, the pass to JT and great work by JT as well. Certainly good to see Joe go out there and have some success. And
oh my gosh,
JT, execute on his behalf.
There's one other player I forgot to ask about. How y'all feeling about the progression back of Cooper Beebe? I know he wasn't able to play this weekend, but how are y'all feeling about how he's coming along?
Yeah, I think this week will be the week. He was real close.
He'll be back.
First week of practice after coming off that injury, and we just felt like he wasn't quite there and couldn't play at a level, that he expected to play at, or that would be in his best interest to activate him last week. But he was so close, and believe this will be the week.
Appreciate the time as always, good sir. We'll catch you next Monday.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is some strange stuff. This is all I can tell you with this doggone Trayvon Diggs nonsense. It's strange to me. Quentin said, "Gee, you crazy?" Yeah, man, we knocking on hell's door, Quentin. We knocking on hell's door. Thankfully, the devil wasn't there. We are knocking on hell's door. I don't think you can get any lower in this defense right now. I don't think you can get any lower. You can't. Let's look at this Diggs nonsense, and then we're gonna get up out of here. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on the Diggs stuff. It's just too much. It's too much drama for me. But let me just show you a couple of things on it. And what Steven said doesn't even make a lot of sense to me. Stephen Jones said that, now it does make sense from the dirty underbelly. So this is crazy to me. Diggs goes from a concussion. People are verifying that Diggs got some kind of mark on his head or whatever the case may be. He gets a concussion. But then the concussion after the game of the Denver Broncos, Jerry throws something out there. He throws a screwball out there and says, yeah, Trevon Diggs is dealing with a knee issue. What? When did the knee issue come up? But now listening to Stephen Jones, I hadn't listened to Stephen Jones. But Stephen Jones says something that's even more interesting now. Stephen Jones says that we felt it was in his best interest because he's been dealing with a knee issue. What? So, Preem Football reports Diggs' relationship with the Cowboys continues to sour. After already being placed on injury reserve with a concussion, new reports indicate Diggs, watch this, Diggs' knee may actually need surgery. What? Surgery? It says a separate issue from his ACL injury, per Calvin Watkins of the Dallas Cowboys News. The team is currently opting for rest, but it's another setback in what's been a turbulent season. Turbulent season? Trayvon Diggs has played barely the equivalent of one season in 3 seasons. Now, he's unlucky. I don't know how else to tell us. I mean, you can't control an injury per se. But on his first injury, where this feud began, was the first injury where the Cowboys said he didn't rehab right. So then, what does Diggs do? Diggs decides to rehab on his own. Y'all remember they charged him $500,000 for not rehabbing at the facility with Britt Brown or whoever his name is. But then this gets even crazier when I show you what Calvin Watkins says on the on his page. Now, he reports that it might need surgery. I wonder where he's getting this from. It says, adding to the tension, Michael Parsons told Yahoo Sports, Jory Epstein, Michael Parsons, I'm just telling y'all right now, Michael Parsons and this dude, Trayvon Diggs, have got one of the weirdest relationships I've seen. It's a weird relationship. And I think a part of this stuff that's going on with Diggs, they're saying it's nothing personal. No, man. No, there's something going, because if Michael Parsons is saying this about Diggs, then Diggs actually believes this too. The part that Michael Parsons is about to say, it seemed like to me that Diggs believes it. But why would Diggs believe it? And I'm going to tell you why it's strange. It says Michael Parsons told Yahoo Sports, honestly, I feel like they effed my dog over. What? He's coming off a catastrophic knee injury, and I just don't think they did right by him. Parsons criticized the team for playing Diggs early in the season despite missing most of camp. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Hypocrite alert. Hypocrite alert, isn't it? Last time I checked, Michael Parsons missed the entire training camp. And then mysteriously, there's a back issue with Michael Parsons, and he misses the entire training camp. Isn't it strange that Michael Parsons found a way to play in the first game for the Green Bay Packers? Can't make this dumb stuff up. You can't make this dumb stuff up. Bro, I'm telling you, I think this is one of the problems the Cowboys have with this stuff of Trayvon was in Michael business, and now Michael ain't even with the team and he in Trayvon business. And then he says, they did him wrong. I'm going to tell you how it's even more crazy. Because if the Cowboys did Diggs wrong and he didn't have training camp, so what does that say about him? But I'm going to go even further. It says team owner Jerry Jones, speaking on 105.3 The Fan, pushed back on that claim saying, no, not at all. He's got to get well, and he hasn't been. He hasn't been well? Now, there were people who were out there saying, yeah, y'all owe Trayvon Diggs an apology. He worked hard, he came back early, and he proved all of y'all wrong. And he played and he's playing. Which one is it? Michael Parsons said they rushed him back. But everything that I saw with my own eyes and everything that this dude Trayvon Diggs was saying, Trayvon Diggs rushed himself back trying to prove to the Cowboys that his rehab was better than what they could have gave him. Diggs was the one that was trying to get back. Because how do the Cowboys make Trayvon Diggs come back? How do they make him? Now, I can see them putting him on injured reserve. But how do they make him come back from injury? How do they make him? Is there something in his contract? How do they make him come back? I don't even get it. It says, between the lingering injury fines and public tension, the relationship between Diggs and the Cowboys, despite the 5-year, $97 million extension signed in 2023, appears to be on shaky ground. This dude hasn't even played a season. He's barely played a season in 3 years. And what have the Cowboys given him in excess of, what was it, $42 million guaranteed? What? Look at this. Clarence Hill, not Clarence Hill, Calvin Watkins says something else that's just dingbat crazy to me. So not only is it that he's reporting that Diggs may require surgery, but look at the next part that is even dingbat crazy. Calvin Watkins says, not sure if the Cowboys are screwing Trayvon Diggs or not. I just know they docketed his pay in the offseason because he didn't work out at the Star enough and the team didn't believe he worked out enough in Florida. It says also Diggs did work out hard and wanted to return for the season opener, which he did. That was Diggs. Diggs wanted to play. How do the Cowboys force Diggs to play? That part I don't understand. I can get why they're putting him on injured reserve. Because Calvin Watkins also says something else that's crazy. Do y'all remember when Diggs got... I'm thinking they're talking about that was this year. It says he pushed to return sooner than the team wanted him to. What the world is Michael Parsons talking about? What in the world is Michael Parsons talking about? I'm not buying what Michael Parsons is selling on this. I'm not buying what Michael Parsons is selling. Because Michael Parsons is the same person who told us he didn't have to be the highest paid player, only to fight to be the highest paid player. I'm not buying what he's saying. It says, Calvin Watkins goes even further and says, however, there were issues with Diggs going to treatment during the season, and he was benched and fined for it. That is why this right here, this caption is perfect. Diggs drama. Diggs drama. This is why the Cowboys need to cut ties with Diggs. Too much drama. Too much drama. I don't care nothing about all this. Yeah, I don't care nothing about all this. Yeah, Diggs told them, Diggs said the Cowboys need to run more man. I don't care nothing about all that. This stuff with Diggs is dumb. I didn't hear anybody forcing Diggs, and I think what Calvin Watkins is reporting is accurate from that perspective, because I didn't hear nobody pushing Diggs to come back early. Diggs was trying to prove to me, it seems to me, he was trying to prove that that his rehab was legit, he had worked hard, and he was good to go. Only to find out now he wasn't good to go. Because there must be some kind of truth to this, because Calvin Watkins is saying that he may need surgery. Where do you think Calvin Watkins is getting that from? It's crazy. Cowboys need to cut ties with Trayvon Diggs and just be done with it. I don't think you'll ever get the true, real story behind this Diggs stuff. But I'll tell you this, I wouldn't want this on my football team. This is one of the reasons why, as much as I do believe that Michael Parsons, we would have been somewhat better. I don't think with Matt Eberflus in this system, I don't think even Michael Parsons could help this nonsense. But Michael Parsons, to me, I don't care how good he was. I just couldn't deal with Michael Parsons. Too much drama. Too much drama. I couldn't deal with it. Too much drama. Trayvon Diggs, too much drama with him. Too much drama. Some people say, oh, well, you should bet. No, everybody don't want to deal with this stuff. Cowboys got too many other things to be dealing with. Get this drama out of Dallas. Trayvon Diggs, if I was talking to Trayvon Diggs, bro, don't come back. Just, bro, charge it to the game. Get your money. Let your knees fully heal. And get yourself ready for the next team to get you, because the Cowboys are going to make you a post-June 1st cut. They're going to make you a post-June 1st cut. This team needs to stay focused on football. They don't need Trayvon Diggs to come back. They don't. This is just too much dumbness. It's too much dumbness. And it's crazy to me. Michael Parsons is going to try to capitalize on the Cowboys every opportunity that he gets. Every opportunity that he gets. It's crazy to me. Katharina Kiss said nobody's bigger than a star. I agree. Miss Matrix, I can deal with Jerry's drama because Jerry's drama is comical. This stuff right here, this crazy stuff. And it doesn't contribute. It's just too crazy. Too crazy. Too crazy, too kooky. The Cowboys have got to just get all of this stuff out of here. Just get it all out. This is the last bit of drama, minus whatever Jerry's doing. But Jerry is the owner, so Jerry is Jerry. But this Diggs stuff, this is the last of the Mohicans. Get this stuff out of here. The Cowboys are rebuilding back. The offense is built for the most part. Needs a little bit more tweaking. Now it's time. You've gotten Michael out of here. You're going to have to, you got to replace that piece. Trayvon Diggs, get him out of here. And then, and just, you got Savon Revel Jr. That's what you got him for. See what he is. And with the Cowboys, they still are going to need cornerbacks even when they go into the draft, because I think they need to blow up the other ones. Savon Revel Jr. is going to be fine, but the other ones, get them out of here. Get them out of here. Just get them out of here. All right, guys. Let me tell y'all something. Don't y'all give up hope. It ain't over until it's over. I've already showed you. There is a pathway. There is a pathway for the Cowboys to get to the playoffs. They just got to get it. They got to get serious. Beat the Arizona Cardinals. That is the first step in the Cowboys going on a playoff run. This schedule is as hard as we're saying it is. This second half of the season schedule, it's not nowhere near. This thing is nowhere near as hard as it was when we first looked at it. I think the Cowboys can beat this. I think they're going to beat Arizona. I think they're going to put up 35 to 45 points again. The Raiders is the game that's got my spidey senses tingling. It's going to be a pretty good battle between Pete Carroll and Brian Schottenheimer. I'm not worried about the Eagles game. I'm worried more about that doggone Raiders game, because they have been a different team on the road. The Arizona Cardinals was not a test to me. They're probably going to get more of the business. The Arizona Cardinals are going to get the business from the Cowboys. But the Raiders, Cowboys got to be ready. Cowboys got to be ready. They got to be ready. They have got to win this Arizona thing, though. That's the first part. That's the first part. They got to win it. But again, like I said, we got enough drama going on of our own on the field. We got enough drama going on. And again, I'm just telling y'all, for as much as we've been trying to kill Jerry Jones, and people have been lying saying Jerry Jones hasn't been trying to get nobody, Jerry Jones hasn't been on the phone, we got now from 3 reliable sources. They absolutely have been on the phone, and Jerry Jones finally verified it. Yep, they've been on the phone. And they've been trying to bring in and they hadn't been trying to bring in somebody quote unquote cheap. Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, they're not cheap. They're not cheap. So, all we can do is stay in the moment. We got the Arizona Cardinals coming up. We're going to start talking about the Arizona Cardinals Wednesday through Sunday. The Cowboys don't play until Monday. So now, rather than us playing on Sunday, we got an extra day that we got to wait for the Cowboys to come back up and play. But nevertheless, I'm excited about the Arizona game. In the words of Brian Schottenheimer, it is another championship moment. So again, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We're going to be back again tomorrow, Lord willing. We're probably going to do the morning show again. So y'all set those notification bells so you know the next time we post another video or go live. Tatiana, welcome to the congregation and others. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys where we talk facts. Peace.
Yo, G, bless him, bless him.